Did you get a picture for the one?
Online at
For the
and remember, you're not getting any younger, but at Grossman Wellness,
price fixture?
Never worry about rate
Yeah, we are.
Oh, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Here's what I got.
All right, don't talk about it, though, because we're up.
Here. Here's what I have so far. I'm not done yet.
Your car, you get a free 36,000-mile warranty, complete with roadside.
You've heard that expression, right?
Of course.
Okay, and then
Don't forget the goblin. I like working that as in every ad, you know what I'm saying? That little weird looking goblin dude, or whatever he is.
Told us we need one of those
what is he?
subliminal ads.
Is it Griffin?
Gremlin.
Yeah. More convincing is how long
I don't know what it is.
Denver homeowners, whether it's plumbing,
They don't know what it is.
or electric others. So
Yeah,
if you hear
but it's
voices,
possible.
Let's see. I want to see that.
it's just brothers telling it like it is. BrothersPlumbing.com.
One size fits all has no place in your bedroom. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of Helix Sleep, and we know one mattress can't work for everyone. That's why we created the only mattress built for you. Go to helixsleep.com, take our 2-minute sleep quiz, and we'll build your custom mattress and ship it to you for free. Try for 100 nights. And
I don't know what do you think you do with Puerto Rico, man?
And give you your money back. Go to helixsleep.com.
What's going on?
Well, it's just, well, A, they were bankrupt, so they had no money. They have no, you know, they're a bunch of thieves. Honestly, they just stole all their people's money.
Hey, y'all.
They can't manage anything. I mean, how else do you put it? Anything you give them is going to be shit out.
The Y welcomes all of them.
So do you make it a state? Is that what you're asking? Or
I don't know. What do you do? I mean, FEMA's there. I mean, you give them water and stuff, but do you completely rebuild the infrastructure?
Well, you have to. What are you going to leave the country to rot? You got to, right?
They were about to go bankrupt. What's the difference? I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Is that what you're saying?
So it's Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois is going to be up shit creek soon.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Let's solve some problems. That's what we do each and every day. We solve problems. Yes, can you imagine that? Media with a purpose. Not to preach to you, not to try to change your religion or politics, but simply trying to help, as I've been doing for more than 40 years, recovering millions of dollars in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. We're live, of course, on Facebook, live on YouTube. We are live on iHeartRadio. We are live here at KHOW in Denver, our flagship station, 630 on the AM dial, and KRDO in Colorado Springs. And then don't forget, you can download us on iTunes. So welcome. We ask you to call with your problems, and then we give suggestions, answers, help, sometimes get directly involved even with lawsuits and professional help. Cindy wants to talk about Best Buy. Cindy.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, what's happening, Cindy? What's going on?
First, I just want to make sure you can hear me.
I can hear you great. What's happening with Best Buy?
Okay, Best Buy had a delivery boy come to my house, and literally, he was a delivery boy. They flooded my place.
What do you mean they flooded? Wait a minute. Best Buy, what were they delivering?
They were delivering a brand new washer and dryer.
Oh, and they hooked it up and didn't hook it up right?
Nope, didn't even make it into the house.
Wait, what happened?
Okay, he came into my house, he pulled out the washer and dryer, and he disconnected the hoses, which I found out later. But he told me, he says, Cindy...
Then what? Then what? What?
He says, your electrical cord is not long enough. And I said, well, let me call over to the hardware store. And he goes, I've got customers.
How did it get flooded?
He left the hoses on the floor, and he did not totally turn off the valves.
So they were still leaking a little. Where did he leave your washer?
He left it in my hallway because he was so rude to me.
No, he was rude. He left it in the hallway, but left, when he disconnected the other one, left those hoses on the floor, and they were still leaking.
Yeah.
They're responsible for that. But it's not Best Buy. I think they contract to a delivery service, but I think Best Buy would be. Here's the problem, Cindy. Oh, my God. They're just not going to do anything, are they?
Well, the company they're working with that is denying my claim is called FSA Logistics.
Now, why did they deny your claim? Under what grounds did they deny your claim? Because I think that you are legit.
They are denying my claim because my valves are old. Well, they're not old, but
wait a minute. Wait a minute. If they turned them off, you said he didn't turn them all the way off. What if they could not be turned all the way off because they are old? Then they would have a point.
No, listen to me. Okay.
I am listening, by the way, just so you know.
I'm sorry. The valves, I had a friend had to come out and totally turn them off.
So but why couldn't you do it?
I have rheumatoid arthritis and I have plastic joints.
You have plastic joints?
Yeah, my joints have been removed. All my knuckles are plastic, and I have titanium in my thumbs.
I've never heard of that.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is what they're getting me on, Tom. The second set of delivery boys that came to my house to pick up the washer and dryer, it was on a plain piece of paper.
What are they getting you on? Just say it.
They're saying, well, first of all, it says their advised member that their valve is outdated, needs to be replaced.
Wait, they wrote that? When did they write that?
The same day. This is the second set of delivery boys that came out. But all they're saying is advanced member.
Did it flood at that time, though? When did it flood?
And why did
it leak?
And why didn't you notice it?
Okay, what happened is after he was so rude to me, I immediately went down to Best Buy in Littleton. I talked to Carrie, the manager, and I told her how rude he was.
And then when you came back home, it was flooded?
Yes, I didn't even know that it was flooding when I left.
No, I believe you. I believe you. But how much responsibility would they have? That's what we have to figure out.
Well, can I read you this little note that they wrote?
Wait, hold on a second. When the second people came, the second delivery boys came, how many days later was that?
Yeah, why did the second delivery come out? To hook it up for you?
No, to take out the old set.
Because was that part of the original deal? They would haul away the old stuff?
Yeah.
Then why did the first guy not do all this? Just tell me that.
Well, the reason is because he was so rude to me, I told him to leave.
Oh, I get it. Okay, so you had bad blood with the first one. Second one came and did the job, and that's when he noticed, when he pulled out the washer and dryer, the flooding.
Well, I know.
Can you say anything with a yes or no? Is that when they noticed the flooding, when they pulled out the washer and dryer?
Well, by the time they got here, Tom, there was no more flooding because my friend...
Oh, you had noticed it before they got there. Okay.
Yes.
So how much damage is done?
Over $7,000 worth.
Do you have insurance?
Yeah, I do.
Well, they'll cover it.
They're coming out today.
No, your insurance will cover it. Listen, they'll go after who's responsible, but they will cover it, and that's why you have insurance. Pay your deductible. Let your insurance company subrogate. Meanwhile, you can probably sue in small claims court for the deductible. That's how I would handle it. I would let my homeowners... Cindy, that's why you have homeowners insurance. Seriously. There's no reason to fight this battle. Let them do it.
And they'll go after them.
Yeah, because for you to go after them, they're not going to do this voluntarily. You'd have to do a lawsuit. It's not going to pay you. That is why we have insurance, Cindy. And then you go after them for your deductible. Meanwhile, Best Buy is the one responsible to you, not the delivery people. The delivery people contracted to Best Buy. You contracted to Best Buy. So I think if we have someone at Best Buy, we used to have someone at Best Buy. Do we have anybody at Best Buy anymore that gives a damn?
I'll have to check with Daph.
We had an angel. We call them angels, corporate angels at Best Buy. If there's anyone with Best Buy that gives a damn, maybe you can help intercede for us. At least pay her deductible.
I wonder why she bought from Best Buy. I'm always curious about that. Do they have good prices? Do you know anything about them?
I don't think their prices are as good as Home Depot for appliances.
Or Appliance Factory Outlet's good.
Jensen, on our referral list, people assume because it's a private company you're not going to get good deals.
And they have great prices.
Not true. And this would never happen with them. That's why they've been on my referral list for freaking over 25 years. Carol, what's going on with you, Carol? Carol? Hello?
Hope she's not listening
Let's see
to
if she's on there. Let's see. Lynn, what's going on with you?
Hi, Tom.
Hey, Lynn.
Hi. My daughter and her family contract with Richmond Homes, and they're caught up in the whole formaldehyde issue.
What formaldehyde issue? You mean with the drywall?
No, formaldehyde is over the trusses.
Okay. Yeah, there are all kinds of outgases in construction, and we've lived with them for years, but now that we're becoming aware of them, we don't like them, which I think, you know, there's some wisdom to that. So when you say the whole formaldehyde thing, are you saying that this is a well-known problem that people are up in arms about? Because I hadn't heard about it.
So you don't know what's going on? Oh, my gosh. Well, then I will educate you. So this summer, back I think it was in July, so they're building a house, and they put money down in, it's in Parker, and so it's a brand-new house, and Richmond started building it. It was supposed to be done here the end of October, beginning of November. And then Richmond came out. The house was right about at the stage where they were getting ready to do drywall, and everything stopped because there's 2,200 homes in the Denver metro area that Richmond built, and I think it also affected a few Lennar homes, where the trusses, the floor trusses in the over the
floor joists,
floor joists, yes.
Okay, there's floor joists and ceiling and roof trusses.
Right. So this is so the floor joists.
Okay.
All of them were sprayed with a compound by a company called Weyerhaeuser, and the compound that was sprayed on there, the chemical stuff broke down, and formaldehyde is leaking. So all of those joists have to be removed.
Now, is Richmond doing this voluntarily?
Richmond is in, of course, lawsuit, also probably with Weyerhaeuser, and
now
so
Richmond is blaming the supplier.
Yes, well, because it is, and it was actually on. It was actually on. My gosh, 9 News.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We haven't had any calls on it.
Oh,
so
I would have.
Not one call so far, which leads me to believe that possibly it's being handled. I'm not sure. So tell me about it.
It's being canceled. They were told that their house would stop production, and I actually know other people that were supposed to move and close on their houses, and they are not able to do that because of formaldehyde, so they're having to continue to live other places. So right now my daughter's living in my basement with her kids and her Great Dane because they can't rent any place with the Great Dane. And now Richmond is put out, right now they're saying they're closing, that was supposed to be in October.
Now they're saying Parker, Commerce City, Aurora, and Firestone are impacted, Richmond is saying.
It looks like it was one of the largest lumber distributors in the country, and they did issue a recall.
Yeah, Weyerhaeuser. So what my thing is, I just want to know if I thought you probably knew about it, but you didn't, which is fine. They just keep getting put off by Richmond Home.
Okay, here's the deal.
Saying March, April, May.
Here's the deal. We deal. Let me explain something to you. How we deal with problems. We deal with problems as people have them and call us about them. That's why it wasn't at the forefront of my mind. I literally don't get involved with problems unless we have problems. Now, you bring this up. Let's talk about it. Okay. If Richmond truly is the victim of buying this from a supplier, now we have to do what's called chain of commerce, okay?
Right.
Chain of commerce means is it your friend or your sister, did you say?
It's my daughter.
Your daughter. Your daughter contracted with Richmond. Richmond now has subs. Richmond is responsible to your daughter, and your daughter is like, your daughter is not out of luck. She's dealing with Richmond. Richmond has to say to your daughter, we'll take care of it, and take care of it. So what is Richmond saying?
So they are saying the first call they got from Richmond headquarters was, we're sorry this happened, and it's going to be a month's delay.
Of course.
She's upset of the time frame.
Of course.
And now that month's delay, so that would have been the end of November.
But you understand that. You understand it's not because Richmond is being at fault here.
I totally get that.
What are they supposed to do is what I'm asking, even though they are responsible. I imagine if your daughter wanted out of the contract, would they let her out?
They would let her out.
Okay, then they're undoing the deal.
But there's no...
Because technically she doesn't own the home until they close.
Yeah.
And I guarantee that building contract doesn't have any deadline.
No. When you this is really nothing more than and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's a track home. It's a track home.
And it's a first world problem. I totally get it.
And it's a track home, meaning that you don't own that home. So it really isn't her home, and if they'll let her out of the contract, then that's all they have to do.
Boy, imagine if they found this out after all these folks moved in.
Well, and they actually have some people in their neighborhood that
that's even more of a problem. Is your daughter getting out of the contract?
No, not at this point, because she's already settled her kid into a new school right down the road, and there's no other housing. They can't afford another house in that area, and so they're just going to have to tough it out and wait. But that was my question: is it's just delayed?
Okay, but what I'm saying is, if Richmond was saying, tough, you put money down, we're not letting you out. As long as they're letting you out of the contract, they're allowed to do that, because specifically in that contract there is no specific performance, which means if Richmond Home doesn't build the home your daughter ultimately wants, and if in fact they don't buy that home, they can't force Richmond to build it for them under a certain spec, because they don't have specific performance in Colorado for real estate. Most people never allow specific performance when they're selling property. No one does. And so I can tell you without even looking at it that it's a standard contract. She doesn't own the home, therefore she has no loss, and also cannot enforce specific performance. So even though it is a pain in the ass, you have no rights really, because it's not your home. Her right is to take her money and move on to another company. But now Lynn is saying, but she doesn't want to. Well, then you accept it. That's all you can do. That's really all you can do.
The highway drive in the metro.
When did this come to be? Because that's in July. Okay.
One big one.
Is it going? Good. Hey, I got a question for you. Would you be able to look up a bankruptcy, or do you need the number?
I can look it up. The thing is, my passwords are all.
This is the name of the people that it was under, and it happened in 2009.
Okay.
So, the
lady with the best property. Yeah, I should run to look it up. Give me a second. I'm going to run to the restroom.
Excuse me. Really, that is the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
Well, it's the only way to do it, because they're saying it's not our fault.
Oh, that's true.
Answers the big question: what's next for your career?
Their insurance may deny it.
Yeah. Get started.
It'd be a tough denial. But yeah, I mean, anything.
Tom Martino for Larson Tax Relief. I've been fighting for consumers more than 30 years in all areas of business, except when it comes to the IRS. I refer them to Larson Tax Relief. If you owe back taxes, if it's been years since you filed, these guys are the best. They're smart, they have a fantastic team of experts, and will understand your situation. Their name says it all. Larson Tax Relief. Relief from your tax debt problems. Larson will get you the absolutely best possible resolution. You won't have to worry about your wages being garnished or losing your house. Larson will get between you and the IRS. They'll save you thousands and thousands of dollars. I trust Ron and Jack Larson and their team of experts, and you can too. 844.
I love Trump, man.
What do you say now?
Just how he goes after the NFL. Fuck him, man. I love it.
What did he say now?
Nothing. Just the whole thing over the weekend. Sons of bitches.
Is the only tax relief and audit organization I endorse.
Really, he says, wouldn't you like to fire the son of a bitch?
I mean, he called
I mean, it's not like he called, the way the media puts it, they called all the players sons of bitches.
Well, all the ones that deal. That's what he did do.
He says, wouldn't you like one of the owners?
Oh my God, why are you arguing over semantics? They are son of a bitches.
I know, but
whoever fucking heals like that is.
What I'm saying is, it's not like he just did a broad brush of it.
Now, if they had a religious exemption signed by me, I would allow this kind of behavior. But I do not give exemptions.
Frequent visits to the doctor.
About 20 years ago, I was on a hockey game.
Did you have any of those kids in school when you were younger that wouldn't stand up for the pledge? Okay. I didn't either, but my kids had some.
Of course. Yes.
About 20 years ago on a hockey game.
It happens a lot.
Right in front
Not
of us.
too, I wouldn't say it happens.
For religious reasons, and there's nothing, I wouldn't deny people that if they truly are consistent. They're not protesting.
No. If it's under, yes, if it's under that blanket, I would agree with you.
Well, why? Because they say God?
No, because
Some people don't pledge allegiance to anybody but God.
That's right. Their allegiance is to God first. They won't kill. They won't do anything. They believe in God first, and therefore won't pledge allegiance. And there is some validity to that belief. And the last thing we want to do is start telling people how they should believe.
No, I agree with that.
It's not like an excuse to be some fucktard. They really believe that.
You can feel the difference. I wouldn't have anyone else, and neither should you.
There's some religions where you can't, you don't pledge your allegiance to anybody.
Okay, so what does allegiance mean to you?
Well, that's a good question.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
What does allegiance mean to you?
And well, it is kind of bizarre you're pledging allegiance to something that
loyalty or commitment. It doesn't say anything about your life
it's a
or
symbolism.
whatever.
It's all symbolism.
First of all, the Bible talks about idolatry. And if people believe that's idolatry, pledging allegiance to a flag, then I am not going to tell them they can't believe that, Dan. And that is what this country's about. And as soon as fucking people start telling me I must do it, then they're forming a religion around the country. It's called nationalism. And we don't believe in nationalism in this country. We believe in patriotism. There's a big difference. Fucking Russia and China are nationalists. We don't believe in that. Or fascists.
Well, that's kind of semantics.
We believe in freedom, Dan.
So
Freedom.
Right.
Do you want to force people to pledge allegiance to the flag? Do you want to force people
to be here to be allegiance to the country? Yeah, I do.
But what if the person in this country is a pacifist? They love their country, but they won't kill for it and they won't fight for it. Should they leave?
It doesn't
Should
say
they
that
leave?
here. It doesn't say that here.
That's pledging allegiance.
No, it doesn't, Tom.
Listen.
It doesn't say, okay, now you've got to kill for your country. It does not say that. It does not say that.
There ain't no man.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. Let's talk and see what's on your mind. Victor, what is going on with you, Victor?
Thanks for taking my call, Tom. Had a quick question for you. Had a gentleman who wrote me a check and it bounced. And understand Colorado law says that I can sue for 3 times the amount.
Yes, if you go through the procedure.
And what is the
procedure? And I did not commit it to memory, but it has something to do with this. You first give them warning that or notice, and then you give them a certain amount of time to make good on the check, and then you can sue for triple the amount. And you can look it up. It's easy, but it's something like that.
Okay, so and I kind of looked at that, but he did make, after many threats, this has been going on since May.
Yes.
He finally paid half of it. Now, can I still? The question I have is, can I still sue triple the amount of what's left, or?
Hold on, he made some payment to you.
That's precarious.
Yeah, I believe that you kind of probably wiped out those rights.
Okay.
I believe you did, but I'm not sure. I don't know if Mike Wink would know that or not. He deals in all kinds of financial stuff, and this is a good time to bring him up. Mike Wink from Wink & Wink. They are bankruptcy attorneys, Chapter 7 and Chapter 13s, but they also do debt settlements. They also know a bit about this, probably. So I want to ask, if somebody writes a bounce check, there's a bounce check statute in the state. You give them notice to pay up. If they don't, you can sue for triple the amount. I know a lot of creditors go after triple or treble damages, as they say in the law.
That's right, and it could be perceived to be fraudulent in bankruptcy if the creditor pushes it.
So, which means that it wouldn't be discharged in a bankruptcy.
That's right.
But now, let's say Victor talks to the guy, and did you threaten the guy, and then he paid up some?
No, I mean, I didn't threaten him, but he said, he would pay me, and then
he must have known. How did he know that he wrote a bad check? How did he know?
I contacted, trying to find him. I contacted somebody he does business with.
And they told him you were looking.
After him, I was going to...
Victor, is it safe to say he knew that the check had bounced?
Yes.
Okay.
And I even have text from him saying he was going to pay me on a certain date, and he never did.
But you waited, and he paid you some. How much did he pay you?
He paid me $1,100.
Out of how much?
$2,000.
Okay. So your question is, with the $900 left over, can you go after triple damages? I would guess no. Mike Wink, what would you guess? I mean, he didn't go through the statute.
I agree. And I think at this stage, you got to continue to try to collect on the $900. How long has it been past due when he said he'd pay you the $2,000? You can still
collect. I just don't think you're going to go after treble damages.
Right. It's been 2 months since he said he'd finished to pay me.
You got to send him certified mail. I'm reading the law right now.
Right.
And then 30 days later, if he does not pay you whatever service charges and the entire amount of the check, then you can go after it. And it does say fails to pay the full amount of the check. So if you simply turned around and mailed it out to him now, I think you could. But here's an interesting part. It says no less than 100. No more than 1,500, Mike. Does that mean you can't go after treble damages higher than 1,500?
Yeah, I guess so. And it must be the legislature telling you that you shouldn't be taking personal checks for those kinds of for payments bigger than that.
That's weird that the statute actually says that. So, Victor, you were lucky to get what you got. You can still go after that money in small claims court, or you can give the check to a collector. But I don't think you're going to get triple the amount.
Well, he definitely can't get triple, but it sounds like he could get up to that 1,500.
A lot of people ask for an update on Angelina and what happened, and we're going to do that right after the coming break.
Who is she?
Angelina is the one that used strong arm moving. And that was a mess, but we need to...
She's a mess.
We always tell people we're going to follow up and tell the rest of the story and how it ended, and we will. Okay, we will do that after this next break. But I want to take a few more calls here. It's Gilberto. What's going on, Gilberto?
Well, I'm calling again today. Troubleshooter Mike Medina did not show up to fix my water heater.
Who did not? Who did not show up, sir?
Mike Medina, the Troubleshooter.
Mike Medina. And tell me something, Gilberto. How'd you find this guy?
Well, way back in June, I've been talking to you and him. I bought a water heater.
I don't remember talking to you about this. It was from Mike Medina. Did you talk to him, Dan?
Yeah, Gilberto?
Yeah,
I called you a couple times.
What happened, Dan?
So I called him up, and Mike Medina said he was going to go out there, right? He's going to make an appointment to him. I called you a couple times, Gilberto, to try to get an update on this, and I couldn't get any update from you.
So Medina took money and didn't come back, or what? How did it work?
Right. He's out in the country somewhere, and it's about his water heater, right? They didn't have a
Mike Medina,
big enough
the supplier, Mike Medina, what's the name of his company?
Chipper-Rooter.
Are you saying cheaper? Oh, cheaper.
Chipper-Rooter, right.
Cheaper-Rooter. And did you give him money up front?
Well, no, I bought the water heater. Originally, I bought a water heater from Home Depot.
And where is that water heater?
The water heater is in my house now.
Okay. It was not installed yet, and you want Mike Medina...
No, it's installed. It's installed, but it's not working correctly.
Okay, and you wanted him to come back to fix it.
Right, it was getting the flame was getting blown out.
Now I understand. Now I understand. You paid him to install it. It's not done right.
Right, I paid him to install it, and it was supposed to be a new water heater. And then they charged me again for parts to fix the new water heater. And they charged me to install the parts in the new water heater. And now I find out that the water heater's got a safety problem. The pressure release valve is not working correctly because...
But if you bought it at Home Depot, why is that his fault?
Right.
No, I took it. I bought the one water heater at Home Depot. Mike Medina came to my house and looked at the water heater and said that the water heater that I had bought from Home Depot would not work in my house. He says he would burn the house down.
All right, so did you take that water heater back?
I took it back.
I see. So the one that Medina put in, he supplied.
He supplied, right.
So basically, the bottom line is this. You paid for a water heater and installation to Mike Medina, cheaper router, and he has not yet come back to fix it.
He has come back and looked at it. He took the installation instructions and the warranty back, and then I've been trying to tell him to return them to me. He will not return them. Now I find out about a week ago or a month or sometime 2 weeks ago, the water department turned the water off at the main somewhere.
Why?
To repair it.
Why? Oh, to repair it.
To repair the water line over there. So it created a pressure on that water heater, and the pressure valve on that water heater did not work, so it created a big pressure on that water heater where it was shaking.
Gilberto, right now, I want to ask a few simple questions. The water heater that Medina installed, the one that he installed, is it working or not?
It's working, but it goes out.
Okay.
I have to relight it.
Okay. The pilot light keeps going out?
The pilot keeps going out, and then the pressure valve is not working because
I understand.
It creates a
All right.
pressure.
So, did it only start after the water company did whatever they did?
Well, I haven't had, that's when it did that. It didn't release the pressure that was
okay, the
built up.
pressure valve is not working and the pilot light. Those two things. So let's just sum it up. You talked to Medina, Dan? Did you talk to him?
Yeah, and he was going to go out there, and Gilberto, I followed you up on this a couple times.
He was going to go out.
And I thought he did come out there.
Wait a minute. I'm still a little confused here. It sounded like everything was working fine. Then the water company came out and did something, and now it's having problems. Is that correct?
Now, Gilberto,
they didn't come out to my house. They did it over there where
I understand. But what Mark is asking, did your problems come about only after the water company worked on their line?
No, the problems were there since
okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Now, what should we do, Dan? Did you ever talk to Medina?
Yeah, he was going to go out there. He was going to set up an appointment. Sounded like it was good. He just has to raise the exhaust because the wind out there, when it comes in there, it blows out the pilot.
All right, so let's take him at his word. And let's call him again.
Well, that was like 2 months ago, but I'll try him again.
Well, okay, but we'll still try. And, this happens once in a while. You know, people don't communicate well. Let's just try it the nice way first. As I say, there's no downside to trying that right now. One Clear Choice Garage Doors, I'll tell you what, you never hear any complaints about them. And I love bragging about my people on the referral list at referralist.com. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. If you have a problem with a garage door, One Clear Choice Doors. You wake up, the spring doesn't work, or you want a brand new one for just starting at $299 with battery backup, Wi-Fi technology, time to close feature. That's 303-565-6409, 565-6409, OneClearChoiceDoors.com.
I'm waiting on my login.
Okay.
All that stuff is saved on my computer, so I don't know. I'm trying to log in to look up a bankruptcy.
Do you want me to help you? No logins. You need. No.
It's my stuff. I just emailed my paralegal and said, "Get me my login." Because you know it's all saved on your computer, and then I can't remember the last time I actually typed it in.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing, Susan?
Good. I have a question for you. I gave a referral down to someone in the Springs. Will you guys not take anyone in the Springs?
Yeah, we're not going down there.
Because you have to go to court down
there.
there.
Meeting of creditors and that
Seriously,
drive.
I called twice.
So it's so long.
Okay.
So yeah, it's sort of
We'll try one more time and then we'll talk about it.
It's the limit, right? Because that still comes to Denver. But then you go to Elbert.
You're supposed to come out here. I said, let me know.
Do you have any recommendations for someone in the Springs?
Yep. Yeah, there's a guy named Tony Anthony. I'm spacing his name. You want me to email it to you?
Yeah.
Tony Cross is actually his
Tony
name.
Cross in the Springs, because we don't have a BK attorney.
Call him up and give him a direct referral so I can call him later.
There you go. Yeah. I think he does enough business that he could be a good referral list.
Is it C or K?
C.
Tony Cross.
Maybe it's Anthony Cross.
It's Cross with an L.
Idealhomeloans.com. Closing in 3 weeks. weeks or less. IdealHomeLoans.com.
Listen to an important clinical research opportunity. Are you 50 years or older and have
That one I can have today, though, right? The one you're working on?
I hope to God, yes. I'm doing it right now, brother. You're a fucking slave driver.
Yeah. Mike, what do you think about this whole NFL deal, man?
I mean, I feel like we got bigger problems than this.
Well, there's
I think it's a distraction.
That's what I think.
Yeah. I mean,
well, it's definitely a distraction.
I mean, by talking about it, he made more players do it.
Yeah.
Which I think is
a bigger distraction.
A bigger distraction, right? I mean, to me, if we were just talking about Kaepernick, I think he's a distraction.
He was wearing socks
and he's not good enough. If he was great, then maybe he'd be in the league, but he's not. You know what I mean?
I think he's poison. No one will hire him.
Well, he's out of the league because of a combination of poor play and being a distraction.
Yeah, big time.
So he's good, better than I'm sure a lot of NFL quarterbacks, at least backups, but nobody wants to hire him, and I sort of get that, right? I mean, to me, that's no different than Google firing that guy for writing that memo. Right?
That was crazy.
It's like a business can protect itself, and you have a right of free speech, but in the workplace it's curbed, right? They're not going to tolerate certain things, and they don't have to. But at some point, taking a knee is not going to be a fireable offense in the NFL because if you're good, you got a job. You know what I mean? They're letting guys get away with a lot. You know what I mean? So that's my view.
That is kind of interesting. The way you just said that, it made me think these guys allow their employees to beat the shit out of women on one hand,
right,
and don't fire them. Why would they fire them for this?
No, they get fired for that.
Well, there's a guy playing right now that's up on.
It's a talent-based decision that they're making. If you're good enough, you can get away with that stuff. Adrian Peterson is still playing in the league, and he, beat the crap out of his 5-year-old.
Who was the one that got caught literally on video in the elevator?
Now that guy's done.
He's out.
But his skill set was declining, so it was convenient to be, what's the point of taking a chance on a backup running back? And that's kind of where Kaepernick is, right?
But it's the same thing, though, still, because you're still only talking a couple people. Up until this Trump part, you're talking very few people,
right.
Just like anything
else. He made it a bigger deal than it was, and
that elevator one was incredible.
Like I said, at the end of the day, you have
knocked her out, Tom. Knocked her out.
You have a First Amendment right. You have a First Amendment right to sit it out, and the NFL has a right to fire you if they want. So,
well, I think actually in their employee manual, for lack of a better words, it actually says you have to stand and face the flag. I thought I heard that.
Right.
But they they can choose what to enforce in their own manual.
And employers can curb your rights, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Hey, I got someone working for me at a restaurant or something and goes over and starts touting off political views to a customer that thinks the opposite way.
Exactly.
I might want them going.
If I had a woman at the front desk picking a fight with my clients, it's like, you can't, right or wrong doesn't matter. That it's my business.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. So what do? We're gonna give that guy a chance on that water heater.
Dan's calling. Let's talk about that nutcase in the movie.
All right, let's recap it. All right, Angelina called us originally and said, I had strong arm moving, and they were going to move me from one place to the DTC. They stopped at my place to pick up stuff and asked for my credit card so they could bill me, or my debit card. And I gave them the card, and I said, but wait a minute, you're not done yet. And they said, well, we can't take all that stuff. And she says, well, then I'm not paying. So she says, so he went in and got the rest of the stuff and then said, okay, follow us to the location. In the meantime, she said they kept her card. They drove to the new location. When they got there, she said, where's my card? And they said, we don't know, but you better pay us. So she gave him another card. That card was a prepaid card that only had 52 cents on it.
And they said, well, if you don't pay us, we're taking the stuff to storage. Or taking it. They didn't take it to storage. They left it on the truck. So now the guy says, if you want your stuff, now you're going to have to pay us for the lost jobs we had and for storage. And she said, I can't afford it. So she called us. She said a move that was supposed to be around $600 to $700 turned out to be $2,000, and she couldn't afford it. So we called the moving company. The moving company said, look, we were going to charge her the original $680, but she didn't have the money. She said, yes, I did. He said, no, the charges declined. She said the reason the charges declined is because that was a prepaid card, and my original card was lost by you guys. And he said, that's not logical. We never take credit cards at the pickup. We only take credit cards at the point of delivery. It makes no sense. And she said, well, that's what happened. So we were at a what do you call it? A standstill.
Sure.
Okay. So then what happened is we negotiated to get her stuff back for $850, which I thought was fair. And I thought Mo at Strong Arm Moving was being fair. Then she said, but you can't drop it off where I was because I'm not there anymore. I got kicked out because of this big fiasco when the police came.
Nor did she have the money that day.
And she didn't have the money. She didn't even have the original $650 that she claimed she had, or $680, whatever. So what happened was they arranged for she arranged to get Catholic Charities to pay for this. And my hat's off to them because they heard her story and they said they would pay for it. And Angelia said, if you deliver it, Catholic Charities will pay. Catholic Charities paid. He delivered. She has her stuff now. But we always questioned whether or not they really took her card or not, or if she never really had the money to pay. I personally, I'll give my belief and then Mark will give his. I personally believe that even though she was a pain in the butt, she seemed to be, I don't think she would be stupid enough to order a move knowing it was going to be around, she said, $500 to $600. It was actually $680. I don't think she would do it knowing she had no money at all. I just don't think anyone would do that. I think she really did have just at around $600 or so, and she thought, okay, because they never gave her the final price. They just told her how much an hour. So she thought, I think I can do this. And she probably did have money in her bank. I think they did take her card and then they lost it. I think they did. I thought they thought she was sketchy, so they took her card so they could run it on the way over.
But it was a debit card. Who cares? She could have went to the bank and got the money.
I'm giving my belief. I think they lost her card, and then she was desperate, so she took out this prepaid card. Now, why would she present a prepaid card that she knew had no money on it? She said, well, I was hoping against hope that maybe it would have been funded again from my account, but who knows? She said, I just needed to do something to get my stuff. But now Mark says, but why didn't she, if she didn't have her card, right then and there say, hold on, I know I have the money in the bank, let me go to the bank and get the money, or let me go get another card or something. But was it a weekend that she moved, or was it a weekday? I don't know that.
I still don't even think it matters, because Catholic Charity ended up paying $850.
But Mark,
what happened to the original amount that you're thinking she had?
Right, you're right. You're right, Mark. She said she had $600 to pay for it at least, even if it wasn't $680. She had $600. So how did she lose that $600 from the time they delivered that to the time, the first delivery, to the time of the second delivery? Why didn't Catholic Charities just pay the $200 difference, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I understand. So you're thinking she never had the money to begin with.
I think she goes beyond.
Is that what you think, she never had the money to begin with?
Well, she probably had some of it, like you said, but I don't even care about a hypothesis when it comes to that aspect of this. Here's what I got to tell you about her, okay? She is the kind of consumer or person that, for whatever reason, makes things worse on herself constantly. If you saw these texts when Mo the Mover was on his way over, well, I'm going to have a cop here, and if anything goes down, I'm going to have you arrested, and I'm going to do this. If I was Mo, I got to tell you, here's the issue, though. Mo wanted his money.
Well,
I was going to say if I was Mo, I'd drop her stuff off at the beach.
And Mo decided to send different movers because he didn't want to deal with her anymore. She was so pissed about that, Tom. She said, I'm going to report my stuff stolen. I do not authorize you to give my stuff stuff to another mover to deliver. And so how it ended, we checked on her yesterday morning, and everything was delivered. She said most of it was damaged. We told her to take them to court.
Yes, 70% of it was damaged, right? This, once again, is a consumer that will do everything to make the situation worse.
Deputy Daff says Catholic Charities paid $775 in the end. So here's what I want to say. I thank Mo for actually negotiating. I thank him. Angelia, even though we thought she was a pain in the butt, we did, off the air, follow it up. Even though we hung up on her and said, not really, I put her on hold. When you think I hang up sometimes, I don't really. I just put them on hold. I said goodbye because I was tired of her shucking and jiving, I call it, when he said finally he'll bring the price down, and she said she didn't have any money. And she was just saying she had $600, so where did it go? That part I don't know. So anyway, it's all a mystery. We did help her.
She got her stuff back.
I babysat her
although
on Saturday.
70% of it's broken.
I babysat her all the way to Red Lobster on Saturday.
Wait, did she say 75% is damaged? Did she really say?
You'd have to ask Daff. It was quite a bit she's saying was damaged once she got everything. But I just even have a hard time believing it, Tom.
That reminds me of a construction problem we had that Mark investigated. Now listen to this. The woman said she had a construction company. They're not on a referral list. We sent someone from our referral list as our expert to look at it.
Mark Szymanski and myself went out.
From Genesis Total Exteriors, Mark Szymanski went as a favor to us to look at it. And Mark Szymanski is a great guy, and he's very knowledgeable, so we use him as an expert many times. He went over with Mark to look at this place, and when he went over there, she claimed that the contractor took $250,000 worth of clothes that she had. $250,000 worth of clothes.
It reminds you, this house was maybe 1,400 square feet, anyway, normal house.
But no, we get the weirdest complaints in the world. But if you ever have a question about anything you hear on the air and you haven't heard the end, let us know, and we'll tell you the rest of the story. By the way, Genesis, who does interior and exterior work, we use as an expert. You should use him, especially now in the winter. He's getting into those interior jobs. 303-679-8509, 303-679-8509, GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
In general, how's life?
Good. Kids are good. Everybody's good. Yeah. Business is good. Things are good for you? Good.
I can't complain about anything. I just love life.
Good, man.
Yep, she did. She said 70%.
I need to do a lot of stuff.
Oh, the reason she didn't have the money.
Mark and I have never been busier.
Went to a place.
That's good.
Folks get moved in. They're getting.
You know, I say that stress of being busy is way better than the stress of not being busy.
They kicked her out of that place. So she lost.
Especially when you're self-employed.
We forgot a great part of that story.
What am I looking for here?
The reason she wasn't there is her landlord kicked her out because she caused so many problems.
So I'll tell you what.
I said she had to go to another
place.
A long story.
So it says that it was dismissed for reasons other reasons debtors are unable to perform the plan. I've never seen that.
Okay, what are you talking about?
That there was this case that he had me look up, this Chapter 13 bankruptcy got dismissed. So I want to see the.
So they never confirmed it?
Oh, it got confirmed, I think, but it got well. Let me see if it got confirmed. They must have.
She said the bank just said they were supposed to get the bankruptcy. They were going to sell their senior water rights for $94,000, and that was going to pay off the bankruptcy so they could bring it back out of bankruptcy, Chapter 13. Then she said the bank just says no, we're foreclosing on the property.
And they can do that.
Okay, so that's what they did. So they lost.
You realize even if you're making all your payments technically, Mike, am I correct? They can foreclose on you, right?
Yes, they can.
If
you
what?
do not reaffirm, yes.
If you don't reaffirm and you're making
I've never heard of that. I don't think that's true.
Now, come on! It's against public policy, but they can do it.
I don't think so. I don't think so. If you're current on your payments, you're current on the contract.
No, you've breached the contract.
That's on a vehicle.
By taking away personal recourse, you have breached that contract.
I'm pretty sure they can go after that property.
All right, I'll do some research. I'm going to do some research on that point. I know for vehicles they do it. So it's an ipso facto clause that says if you file bankruptcy, you're in breach.
Yeah.
Regardless.
The same's going to be.
I've never heard of it happening with a mortgage ever.
Well, I guarantee it has. Well, I know.
But I don't know if your rights as a homeowner. I don't know if they can do it if you're current. I'll have to look.
Is today Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Okay.
And so anyway, so they had
first here I'm looking to see if this plan did get confirmed.
You've been lied to. Not to by corrupt Washington
Verification of confirmable plan. So the plan was confirmed in May 2010 after a bunch of gyrations and got fees, and then there was a motion for relief from stay on a vehicle, which means they weren't paying on a vehicle. And then, but then there was.
You lose nothing. You're a sucker. Because you just said she didn't mention that.
Well,
No. But and this isn't what she's really protesting is the bankruptcy. It just seemed funny. But then when they had originally bought the property, the husband, who has now died, wanted the gravel rights.
So it looks like here they filed a motion to sell some property free and clear of liens, which is interesting. And then.
Who did, the bank?
No, the debtors.
Oh, okay.
And then there was a motion for relief filed by their mortgage lender, saying you're not, and I would presume that's saying you're not paying your mortgage. And they responded, and motion to dismiss. The court will combine the final hearing. So I'm guessing they were trying to sell some mineral rights, and the
water rights.
And the mortgage lender was saying you don't get to do that.
Yeah, why would they be allowed to sell something that's covered under the mortgage?
Well, you could sell it, but you're paying it towards our lien.
Well, you're paying off the lien, or you're not selling.
Or yeah, but
you can't diminish the value of the collateral, right?
Right.
She didn't know who would actually sell
Oh man, you thought you picked that up quick enough, didn't you?
Actually, you haven't done that for a while.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So anyway, they go through.
That's what happened. They were trying to diminish the value of their collateral, and the bank said...
No. Well, they said they had a buyer. I thought the way she had said it, that the bank was trying to do this to help pay for that. If she could get that way, they keep the property.
Now, why would the bank allow in a million years its collateral be diminished on someone that just filed bankruptcy? Because there is no logic to that.
Well, because they would pay off the mortgage.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. We are fighting for you, the whole team. Major Mark Major, Deputy Dan at the video controls. Suzanne, she's on the phones. Then we got Deputy Daff working the woodpecker behind the scenes, and we have Brutus on the controls. And he's the only one that's really ugly among us.
That's true.
303-713-8255. Okay, now, let's talk to Tim about this. This sounds really, what's going on with this internet thing you say is fraud?
Hey, Tom, nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
I'm a commercial photographer in Boulder, and I got an email about a week ago from a guy saying he saw my work, wanted to hire me for a job in Denver. There was going to be a bunch of models, et cetera, et cetera. And it sounded like a scam right away. So I emailed him, sure, let me know. I'd love to hear more. And he sent me back, oh, we're going to send you a check for X amount of money, and you have to sign this contract and send me X amount of money back.
Yeah, isn't that weird? I mean, that is so old. I mean, that's just another twist on, you want to buy the car, we're going to pay more and then pay you extra for transport that you have to give to a friend of mine who comes to the door to get it. It's all kinds of crazy stuff. So, and they even say this, listen, don't worry about the car, just keep the car right now, we'll come and get it. We'll come and get it, but just give us the money for transport so my friend can arrange it. And so where was this out of? Where was this person?
Well, he claims he was out of South Carolina, but the address, he sent me a check.
Oh, he did send the check.
He sent a check, just a check by itself in a USPS.
Did you, what bank is that drawn on?
It's drawn on a bank in South Carolina.
We ought to call that bank. We ought to call that bank for the heck of it, or you should.
Could be phony baloney.
Yeah, you should call the bank and say...
I called the bank, and they wouldn't give me any information on this stuff other than tell me that the routing number was correct.
For the bank?
For the bank.
What about the account number?
Yeah, they wouldn't give me that information either. And then I called the company that this guy supposedly represented or worked for in South Carolina. It was an ad agency, and they'd never heard of him. So
man, you went through an awful lot.
Yeah. How much was it, by the way? How much?
He sent me a check for $3,800.
Well, it's tempting. Tell the truth. You thought for a split second this might be true.
Well, I thought when I first got it that, maybe it was...
Why did he say he was sending more money? What was his excuse?
He didn't say sending more. He was saying I had to deposit that, and then I had to pay up front a fee to them for arranging all of this.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
For arranging a commission. In other words, their commission. I get it.
Correct.
Well, thank you for letting us know, Tim. It's another twist on the cashier's check, deposit, send money back, blah, blah, blah.
We had a sting set up for this last Monday, yesterday.
Gilberto, we have not forgotten about you. I think we're just we're done, Gilberto. I see you're still hanging on there. We're just going to give Cheaper Rooter one more chance. Deputy Dan is going to get on him. We'll give him one more chance. Heather, what's going on with your oven?
Yes, so my husband and I purchased a whole package of appliances back in February.
Where?
And was at Manweiler in Windsor.
Manweiler. Never heard of him. Manweiler. Is that a big store?
No, they used to be just a hardware store, but jumped into the appliances years ago, and we've had
in
great,
Frederick. Well, that's a small place, and they can't afford to be ripping people off, but I doubt they are. Probably something's wrong. What happened?
So we purchased and we paid for all the appliances, was told that we got everything except for the double oven range, and was told it was going to be delivered in March, at the end of March. Well, March came and went.
All right, so what are they saying? What's the latest you heard?
They just can't get an answer out of their sales rep.
Wait. You talk to the store, and they can't get an answer from the manufacturer?
Correct.
The manufacturer's rep? Okay, what brand is this?
This is KitchenAid.
So it's not like it's irreplaceable. I mean, in other words...
I'm sure it matches everything else she bought.
But I'm sure she can find that color somewhere else. What color is it?
Well, people always want to match everything.
No, I know, but you don't have to buy it at the same place to match it. If it's a KitchenAid silver or stainless, if it's a KitchenAid
it's
white...
black stainless steel.
So if it's black stainless steel, couldn't you find it somewhere else and buy it, is what I'm asking.
I tried that.
And what happened?
They all keep saying that they can get it in. However, they don't have any in stock. They don't have any.
And you're afraid you're just going to wait again. Hold on a second. We'll come back and revisit this, figure out what to do. But it sounds to me like it is not Manweiler's problem. But we should put a call into them and see what they say. I'm Tom Martino. Hang on.
Well, I don't know. You buy 4 appliances from Home Depot.
They're not going to be in a line or something, Mark.
7 months later, you still don't have one of them?
No, that's terrible.
I mean, what do you do, though? That's where she's at.
I know.
7 months.
But what I'm saying is you do acknowledge, though, that she can buy if she can find a black one, it's going to be the same as all her other. In other words, I don't think they build them together.
What's their story?
Okay, so their story is that the bankruptcy was
dismissed
and they lost the property. Okay?
Okay.
It was dismissed.
This case was dismissed.
Not discharged. Why was it dismissed, by the way?
Well, let's look at the motion.
So anyway,
I'm curious about this motion myself because it looks unusual.
Yeah, but
usually you didn't pay and you're getting kicked out. You didn't pay
it's Chapter 13. Chapter 13. Right. So anyway, that her husband died after that. So
they did their own case.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
their attorney dismissed it.
Okay.
Respectfully, it says here the debtor through their attorney Barton Bayless. The case be dismissed.
Okay.
And you have an absolute right to dismiss a case, so...
Okay. But her big thing is when they originally bought the property in 2003, the husband wanted the gravel rights.
So he bought.
So they registered that different than the property, so he registered in the county that he gets the gravel rights. That was not part of any of the bankruptcy, and they're still registered that they own the gravel rights.
If it wasn't part of the bankruptcy, that brings up an issue too. That's fraudulent.
I can't make that call. That's going
it was definitely part of the bankruptcy.
She said it wasn't, and it's still.
That's bullshit. There's no way. Right. There's no way. So, all right. So, when you file bankruptcy, you have to include all of your assets. You don't get to pick and choose. If a debtor says I didn't include that, then either they're sort of committing fraud knowingly or unknowingly, right? Or they just don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they included it, right?
Plus, it would be tied. If it's under that property, it's tied to that
So these days, I'm often listing the interest in the property and oil and gas rights. Whether they could be stripped apart and sold separately, I don't know, right? But I just list it all because it's better to over-disclose. But if they're coming at you with a scheme to try to pull apart, you know, that which should be subject to the lien, then absolutely. You know, like I saw a case recently where my client had a car accident, was able to get the car fixed for way less than the insurance company was going to pay, but Ford has a lien on the car. They issue a joint check to Ford, and she freaks out on me. I said, Ford, I mean, you know, you don't get to keep this money, right? You can take it to, and Ford might apply it to the lien, and that'd be good for you. But you're not, you know, your scam to try to get this money isn't going to work because they have a lien, you know, on that check, and it's a joint party check from the insurance company. There's nothing I'm going to do to say, hey, recut this check to my client so she can get the car, so she can get the money. Right?
Are you saying they paid separately for the gravel rights?
So no, they didn't pay for it.
Then it's in the mortgage.
So here's the thing: if you acquired property after you file, then it's not necessarily bankruptcy of the estate. If you owned it when you filed, then either it was included or it should have been.
Okay. So she says that she still looks into the county. It's still registered in her husband and her name, the gravel rights. So it was never took out, even though the property is no longer owned by it. So
who owns the property?
This other guy, Tom, or whatever they think anyway. But it's right along the river. The property's right along the river. So she's asking, in a way it sounds, no, she does not own the property.
And their mortgage lender filed a motion for relief shortly, sort of as this whole motion to sell is going down. And this says,
I had that removed today.
Oh, you did what they say about it.
What you're saying is that should have all been included in the bankruptcy.
It's called
you don't get to choose to not include it. And then they filed a motion to try to sell it. So their attorney at least tried to do things by the book.
They sent it out
somehow. So while this was pending, to sell something, I haven't looked at that motion.
But if so,
it says here,
thinking that the only thing they have to do is take people. But she thinks she got enough. This woman's really good. If she showed concern, I would know. Because sometimes.
But I guess I can tell her almost assuredly that those gravel rights, even though
this guy
listed in her name, it was a mistake.
Say that again.
Because of bankruptcy, she would not
own a little thing on his face.
Right, you're right. You don't get to just say they're not in the bankruptcy. I mean, she may own them, but what happened was it looks like they weren't paying on the mortgage, and the mortgage lender took the property. Right? So then if the question is, are your mineral rights associated with the property separate from the property? I mean, I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not like an expert in that. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure that if the property's gone,
it was stage 4.
The mineral, how can those? You know what I mean?
No idea. Right, but like I say, use that as bankruptcy. They got to list all their assets.
Can you imagine going really just
right? At a minimum, that should have been listed separately. If in fact you're alleging,
and you might have a month left. Sounds like you're feeling like this,
and she said it was listed separately.
It might have been. Let me look. So there was a motion for relief that basically is saying
they need to.
Usually during my physical, my doc's looking at me everywhere.
Right, that's
sure. It says here they default on the note by failing to pay amounts.
Yours doesn't. Do you go in for regular physicals each year?
Okay, so while whatever they were trying to do was pending, the mortgage lender was like, well, you're not paying us. So
well, mine doesn't do that, but he definitely looks around normal to these.
Which I believe was granted. Give me a second.
But now I can't.
So it looks like they were trying to pull off some scheme to sell rights.
Those water rights are trying to sell.
Will they use just the local and freeze it, almost like a war?
Let me look at their motion to sell. And ultimately they got the relief from state. So the court said you're not current on your mortgage. They can
take 48 hours, and then
so what happens when you file bankruptcy is everything you have is in the bankruptcy and it's protected.
We won't know
from credit.
No, I'm going to do it.
Unless a secured creditor files a motion that says, my mortgage isn't getting paid. I want permission.
It's probably cheaper to pay them in cash than freaking run it through anything.
You got it.
Okay, so if the gravel rights were separated, and the bank just wanted the land back.
See, Suzanne would not be
now you're getting
happy
tricky
with this
stuff. That's not. Let me look here and see.
Let me give you an idea. Our appliances, KitchenAid. Our appliances right now are GE
Profile.
No, God no. Keep going up. What's the best?
Monogram.
Monogram.
I thought. Oh yeah, Monogram.
If we ordered 4 things that were Monogram and only 3 came in 8 months went by, I don't know what I'd do. I'd be furious. That does devalue. I don't care what you say. That does devalue the kitchen. It does.
Well, of course it does.
But
then she just has to get it.
That's right.
You got a big deal.
This was the order on the motion to sell. And
but whose issue is it?
You got to distribute money.
Whose issue is it?
To
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by Simply Floors. They will floor you up. And I'll tell you what, they do it for about 40 to 50% of anywhere else. And they have all styles of floors, and they're just wonderful. They have all the latest and the greatest you can see on their at their showroom, but they recommend you first go to simplyfloorsinc.com, and you can even make appointments there.
They got something new, I got to tell you about.
But I want to tell you, I love Buddy Mitchell, the owner.
Oh, yeah.
He's unlike anyone you'll meet. This guy gets it done, and he marks it down as much as he can. He's making a decent living, but he said, you know what? I will always beat everyone when it comes to floor coverings. That's the bottom line.
You love, and I like it too, that luxury vinyl tile.
Yeah,
but listen to this.
It's indestructible. It looks beautiful.
They got a new one out.
Cheap.
It's called LVT with action traction. It's great for people with dogs, people that are worried about slipping and falling coming out of the bathtub.
Yeah.
This stuff you do not slip on. 100% waterproof.
100% waterproof.
Action traction,
you know what,
baby.
Mark, that stuff, I was literally thinking, it's so beautiful.
It's nicer than tile.
I was thinking of putting it in my garage because it would be such a beautiful floor instead of epoxy. And I'll bet you it's cheaper. I mean, I can't even tell you the uses you can have for it.
Oh, man. And he sold us that Shaw Life, they call it Life-Proof carpet. It's all waterproof backing.
Anyway, simplyfloorsinc.com. Yes, this show is the only show where the commercials are actually part of the show because we talk about floor coverings. We talk about life. Mike Wink is with us today from Wink & Wink. We talk about finances and bankruptcy as they do at winkandwink.com. And I'm happy to report, and I know it's not good for you, Mike, but bankruptcies are down, right, in general?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just year to date, but I mean month to last year's month, but just the year in general.
Right. In fact, we might be up a little bit from last year, but comparing those numbers to 5 years ago, we're 60% down.
It's probably a 10-year cycle. Would you say yes?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not necessarily tied to the economy, right? Because it's just a cycle of leveraging and deleveraging that happens.
It could be slightly off, but
right.
I'll bet you during the recession.
Right. Like 2005, there was a boom because they rewrote the laws.
Where'd you see the ton over the last 10 years? The biggest year.
The biggest year, I think, was 2011. Yep.
Countrywide.
Big time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
but what's helping us is Colorado's growth is a rising tide that's carrying a lot of boats.
When you say 2011, are we talking about double the norm?
Almost double where we are today.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
303-713-8255. Heather bought an oven. Now, Mark and I were talking about this off the air. If you buy, she bought all KitchenAid, and she bought a whole kitchen full, but she didn't get the double oven. So the question is, why? And if it's the same everywhere, then obviously there's a problem. But Mark said, what would happen if they did not make it or stop making that or whatever? What would you do? Heather, what would you do? Because I know it's important for a lot of people to have matching appliances. What would you do?
I honestly don't know. I've asked myself that a bazillion times, and the fact is that I'm not only out that, but I'm also out $400 in rebates because I can't get those until I get this double oven stove.
Oh, wait. She bought a package that has rebates.
You only get the rebate for the whole package?
Once I get the ovens, the double oven.
Why? Yes. Because they require you buy a certain number?
Some of them, sometimes it's only like on one piece or on two pieces. This happened to be on three pieces.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Now, Heather, have you ever called KitchenAid directly? Because I believe
multiple times.
Oh, and they did not extend to you the rebate and all of that? They did not?
No. They said that they would honor it through Manweiler, and they keep telling me to call Manweiler to figure out what's going on.
Did we call Manweiler over the break there, Suzanne, to see what they had?
We have not called. Yeah,
we should call them.
I asked why she didn't get her money back and go somewhere else. She said they're on back order everywhere, so I'm not sure it's a Manweiler problem.
No, it's not.
But
I just want to know what they expect.
Manweiler has talked to the Mark Spears, is the sales rep manager for the nation.
For the nation, or you mean for this area?
For the national. He said, Charlie, the owner of Manweiler, said Mark Spears.
Do you know the name? Do you have his number, the national rep?
I tried to give that. They won't give it to me.
That's why I think we should call Manweiler. We ask Manweiler if they could just secretly give us a number. We'll start lighting some fires.
And we have contacts at KitchenAid. That's what I thought we would end up going through, Tom.
I'd like that exact model number.
I have it. I'll IM it to you.
Okay. Hold on. We don't want to do that over there, but we're going to do a search on our own. Heather, Manweiler would have no problem refunding money, right?
No, they offered that, but I'd still out the additional $400 in rebate.
No, KitchenAid would have to come through for you. If we could show you bought KitchenAid, but not from Manweiler, wouldn't they still honor it?
I would hope so, but at this point, it seems wishy-washy.
I think they would. KitchenAid's a pretty good company. Hold on. Give us the model number, and then we'll follow this up.
Think of how long they've been sitting on our money, too, for this.
We'll follow up directly with KitchenAid. How's that? 303-713-8255. Art!
Yes.
Thank you for calling me, and thank you for listening, and thank you for trusting my opinion because you have a question about stem cell therapy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm in fact going in 1 hour to start stem cell therapy on my knee for arthritis pain.
Yes, the knee, they're having a lot of success with knees. A lot of success.
Right, and I've heard you talk about it several times.
Now, I did not have a knee, okay, just so you know.
Right.
Yeah. So what do you need to know, Art? What can I tell you?
The main thing is I'm trying to research the specific injection they're using at the place I'm going, which is Palingen. And unfortunately, as I'm digging this morning before my therapy, just sitting around, it looks like Palingen may have no active stem cells in it, but it's a amnio infusion sort of thing.
Where'd you find out about it?
From Downtown Health.
Okay, what do you mean? I thought it was, I don't know these people at all, but they're calling it amniotic membrane. I don't know anything about, so Downtown Health recommended this place for your stem cell.
Well, Downtown Health is the place that's doing it.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then what is Palingen?
Palingen is just the brand name of the fluid they're going to inject.
I get you. Like Stem Cell Institute of America and Dr. Dean Jones downtown. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Okay, they're hooked up. Dr. Dean Jones is hooked up with Stem Cell Institute of America, and this other place is hooked up with what's called Palingen.
Well, no, Palingen, Stem Cell Institute of America also uses Palingen Flow, is what it's actually
called.
Really,
it does? How do you know that?
I'm on their website.
No, I didn't know they used I never gave the actual stuff a name.
Yeah, it says it's derived from the components of the amniotic membrane and the amniotic fluid.
What I don't understand is who told you that this Palingen does not have stem cells in it? Who told you that?
Well, actually, I went to Palingen's site trying to research.
Yes.
And they say that it has this these different factors that promote the healing process.
Yes.
But there's nothing in there I can see anywhere that states that it's going to help to regrow cartilage. Or that it actually states stem cells.
Oh, okay. I'd have to look. I mean, what's the website? Is it palingen.com?
Exactly.
Well, you know what? We could ask our expert, Dr. Dean Jones, if he can get on the phone. Can we ask Dr. Dean, Suzanne? Okay.
Great.
Yeah, let's hold on and find out. I don't know about the specific brand names, for lack of a better word. That's really what it is, brand names. And people they source stem cells all over. And all I know is that it worked for me. See, and I knew it was stem cells, but I did not go to Palingen's website because I wasn't aware of the name. Now, I know other people, of course, harvest from your body. And even though I thought that was the most natural and probably the best, a lot of other medical professionals tell me, no, it's better to go to a source where they really know you're getting the best from, byproducts of birth instead of from yourself. But who knows? Again, this is all still classified as experimental. It really is. I mean, your insurance won't pay for it for that reason. We'll try to get someone on in the next few minutes here to answer that question for you, okay? I'm hoping Dr. Gene Jones is around. And meanwhile, I'll also check out this website, 303-713-8255. And Rocky's Autos. If you got up the last few days and you saw the weather, you're thinking, uh-oh, I wonder what's going to happen if we get a snow. Don't think that if you have a bad car, don't think that you're going to get through it, because I'll tell you what, winter brings out the worst in all vehicles. And that's why Rocky stocks up for the winter with front-wheel, all-wheel, and four-wheel drive vehicles. And they have 40 lenders to choose from. Remember, I talk about Rocky's having variety. Variety of price, variety of colors, variety of brands, variety of models, variety of model years, and variety in financing. So when you go there, you get something that fits for you. And they also pay really good trade-ins because they want those trades to sell on their lot. So you get great trade-in value. They're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. By all means, I want you to shop around. But then stop at Rocky's too and take notes. And you'll see the difference if you truly compare apples with apples. Rocky's Autos, 303-426-4646.
So,
this report is
as far as I can tell,
a wide open drive away.
These people were behind on their mortgage. Okay, their attorney looks like he did a pretty good job, right? He tried to help them in a pretty creative way to say, okay, we're going to sell these water rights and pay what we're behind.
That's a great idea, but the water rights are attached to the property.
Right. Well, right. So and it looks like after some back and forth, they agreed, so long as they got the money, meaning the mortgage lender.
Right.
And there looks like maybe some judgment lien creditors were going to get paid too.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So they let him do it, then what?
And then the mortgage lender still filed a motion for relief saying you're not paying your mortgage, so we want permission to foreclose. They tried to respond and said, well, we're trying to do this sale to pay what we're behind. But then at the hearing, the court granted it. So something happened at the hearing where the details are not necessary.
So they took the land, right? The bank foreclosed.
Well, the bank at least got permission to do that.
Okay.
So whatever, if there was a resolution after that, it was outside of bankruptcy court.
Okay. Now.
So the bankruptcy was dismissed, though.
The debtors dismissed it.
What case is this, Dan?
This is with gravel rights. So now her husband died a couple years later. She wants to know, does she own the gravel rights, which were not part of the property, but they were listed separately when they bought the property.
Right.
Here's a manufacturer.
So
that's a real estate question. That's really what ask me. That's a real estate question. What did you ask?
So when they originally bought the property,
right,
the husband said, "Hey, I want the gravel rights." So they went back and forth, and they listed the gravel rights separately.
Yeah, they are separate.
And
they are separate because I've sold property.
County.
I've sold property before, and I've retained specifically gravel rights. It's actually called mining, but
it's different than mineral rights.
No, I know.
But does she still have the property?
No.
Okay. But so what they were proposing to do was to sell those rights and pay the mortgage.
I have water rights I still own, and I have gravel, which we call mining, and then minerals. But even if they are separate, mining is more restricted more of the time.
They still would have had to be listed in the bankruptcy.
What about it though? Are you asking? Are they still separate?
No, she's asking because she still listed her for the county for the gravel rights as it was listed when they bought the property.
It may be, as per what Tom is saying, that they may still own those rights.
Okay.
Yep. You could still own them.
Yeah, but the trustee could go back and take them, right?
No, not in 13. And they listed them. I mean, they filed a motion to sell them, which is an acknowledgement that, hey, we have this property, we want permission to sell it.
Got it.
And the mortgage lender's like, well, you don't get to sell it without paying me. So from the mortgage lender's perspective, those rights were part of its collateral.
Got it.
Okay? Now, you're getting into whatever the technical details of that stuff are.
Yeah.
And basically, the case ended up outside of bankruptcy. So whatever happened, whether it was foreclosed, whether the gravel rights were sold, all of that would have been outside of bankruptcy.
Brent's going to dial in here soon. And
if they're listed just under hers, does she say, hey, I do own them?
Well, in case he gets
here's
back.
another thing is gravel rights.
We've got another doctor on there now too, stem cell.
Right.
Yeah. Because
So we can have,
so
people are
usually
asking
you got
about
to
Palin
surface
Jens
to get the gravel.
Right. So
Calling, just search.
They never sold.
Search on the website.
They don't have the house.
It
Or
doesn't,
They do not have the house. It's on that
so this guy wants to know what's the real deal.
Right.
Is Palin
So the
Jens
question is,
Here, I'll send you
so the house got foreclosed on.
Yes.
So did they lose the mineral rights as part of that?
Mineral rights were never part of it. The gravel rights was, she didn't say anything that it was listed in the bankruptcy or whatever, but it's still listed in her name in the county.
It could be. Yeah. But Tom's right. That's a real estate law question that's really independent of the bankruptcy.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready? 303.
Thank you.
No, we haven't reached out to these folks before. They just got on.
So you don't even know her name, or do you?
Yes, Dr. Schultz. 303-963-9168.
So,
And the question's about Palin
your
Jens.
gravel rights, the way I read a little bit on it, if you don't own the surface rights, the gravel rights may or may not be worth a lot because it disturbs the surface so much.
You're right. It's different than mineral rights.
Yes.
With mineral rights,
Yes.
you don't have to have surface, and you can do diagonal drilling and all of that. Right. That's right. You're right. You can't get in there, but they can't unreasonably deny you, but you can't destroy the property either.
Right.
It's really, really hairy. Gravel rights or strip mining rights are hard.
Hi, Tom Martino is here for you along with the team, and we have Mike Wink today from Wink & Wink, bankruptcy attorneys and debt settlement. We have a comment on this KitchenAid thing and rebates. Woman, she ordered 3 appliances, got 2, waiting for 1, can't get the rebate until they're all purchased, and she's just frustrated. It's a KitchenAid deal. Kevin, what is your comment, sir?
Well, I bought 4 KitchenAid appliances, and I've already received and this was back in late July, I've already received my $400. They sent it to me in the form of a debit card.
But you bought 3 of them. How many did you buy?
I bought 3 originally because I bought a hood fan or a vent and decided I wanted a microwave there instead. So I bought 4, and I ended up getting $400. If I would have bought 3, it would have been $300. So,
okay.
And as far as looking for a good place for appliances, I went to Builders Appliance Center down off Oxford and Santa Fe, and I think I heard something about they were looking for a double oven or something, maybe.
Yes.
And I'm sure if KitchenAid has one, they have it down there on display. They've got a bunch of kitchens set up and all that in there, so that's where I went. But my girlfriend works for a home builder, and I saved about $2,000 off of MSRP by going there.
Wow, that's good. And I want to just plug Jensen Appliances, who's been on my referral list for many, many, many years. Of course, listen, people, I want you to shop around. And I'm not trying to tell you you're always going to get the cheapest price on the referral list. But one thing you will get is excellent service. You'll get great value. And most of the time, very, very, very competitive prices. So please, these small, or they're not necessarily small, but these independently owned appliance stores are really, really diminishing around the country, and I think you should at least shop them. And Jensen, they're just good people. We have never, Mark, had a complaint about them, and they do repair as well. They just do a great job. 303-713-8255. Okay, now, thank you for that. Jane, what's happening with you, Jane?
Yes, hello?
How are you doing, Jane?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good today. I actually come alive in the fall and winter and part of the spring, and I love this time of year. What's going on?
Same here. I agree. I've been a fan of your show for more than 10 years, and you've helped me out with some other things.
Thank you.
But today, I wanted to ask you, we had a small house fire back in the spring in June. It was just a very small candle fire. It was very, very scary. I've never been in a fire before. So I definitely was going through this whole process for the first time. I'm even in my first home, and I haven't worked very much with contractors, but of course the first thing we did was call our insurance company, and then we filed a claim, and we were able to get the insurance approved. And so we got some recommendations for some contractors, and we got this group out, but they didn't do at all what they said they would.
I wish you would have used the referral list since you've been listening for so long. Oh, God, it would have helped. How'd you find this place?
You know, we were using the insurances list,
Yeah.
and we got the name from the insurance. And
What's
later
the name
we
of the
did-
company?
Well, I don't know if I should say that. It's Blue Sky, and then there's more to that. But it is a company in Denver, and they were recommended by my insurance.
No, I understand. Is it called Blue Sky Insurance? I mean, Blue Sky Construction?
Restoration, I believe.
Okay, so what went wrong? Let's just go right to that.
There's so many aspects of the job that went wrong that I do have a text from one of the supervisors that
Do you
said-
have right now, you said the small house fire, right now, do you still have issues right now?
Yes. They had left a wall uncovered that was part of an abatement.
Okay.
And we have shut the room and have been...
Now, what do you mean they left it uncovered?
We were told it would be covered with a plastic curtain, the wall where this work was being done.
Okay.
It was never sealed, and it was never covered. In fact, they removed the fan that we were told was necessary to be in the room before the room was sealed. So there have just been numerous.
But right now, the job is not done, is what you're saying, right?
It is. I would say it's incomplete work.
Okay. Do they think it's done?
You know, I don't know exactly what
I mean,
they
do
think.
you think that they have you on the board as a job that needs to be completed? Or do you think, in their minds, they're done with you?
I think that they think that they're done.
Okay.
And I spoke to them after they came, and because they left things so opposite to what they had promised us, because they left such a mess, we said, please don't come into our home again.
Okay, now that complicates things a bit. So hold on, Jane, all right? And we'll talk about how to get out of this the right way or to conclude it. Hold on. But I do want to go to Dr. Chris Williams with Centeno Schultz Clinic. Is that a proper pronunciation, Centeno? Let's see. I'll ask Dr. Williams. Dr. Williams?
Hello, good morning.
Hey, am I saying that right, Centeno?
Centeno Schultz Clinic, that's correct.
Centeno Schultz Clinic, and you do stem cell therapy.
Correct. We practice stem cell and regenerative medicine for orthopedics.
And you're on our referral list at referralist.com. I want to make that clear. And we're calling because we wanted to ask if you've ever heard, somebody called in and simply asked about something called Palingen flow or Palingen stem cells. Have you heard of that supplier?
I am not familiar with that supplier. Do you know how to spell it?
Yes.
The manufacturer?
Palingen, and they call it flow or Palingen, and it's Palingen flow, and they call it amniotic membrane and fluid. But I'm just curious. Just this guy that called in is going to have stem cell therapy done, and they use Palingen, and he just simply had a question about it. And we're not saying it's good or bad. We're just asking about.
He was basically saying it didn't have any live stem cells.
He said he couldn't see where they mentioned live stem cells in the literature, and he was wondering, how do you know what contains stem cells or not? And in general, Dr. Williams, what I wanted to ask you is this. There are a lot of suppliers of stem cells around the country, right? I mean, for example, the people at Stem Cell Institute of America, they have their own suppliers. You have your suppliers. Some other clinics have other suppliers. How did you decide, for example, where to get your stem cell?
Hey, it's Tom, correct?
What's that?
It's Tom. Your name is Tom, correct?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay. Hey. So when we talk about stem cells in the broadest term, we really function in terms of getting our stem cells directly from the body. We don't use other people's stem cells.
Oh, okay.
Or anything like that, because that's the best source of stem cells from the bone marrow. And, around 80 to 90% of the literature is done on bone marrow stem cells. But when you talk about the Palingen, which I looked them up, and they just seem to be a site that advertises in using amniotic membrane and fluid, which when you look at that, you dissect it a little bit, you know that there is no living stem cells in that product, because if they had living tissue in there, they would have to go through a phase 1, 2, and 3 clinical trials through the FDA. So, these...
so are you saying, Dr. Williams, are you saying clinics that have stem cells brought into them. I mean, I can name a dozen of them that actually, for lack of a better word, they import stem cells from suppliers or laboratories. Are you saying that you cannot do that with live stem cells?
It is not legal per the FDA regulations to inject more than minimally manipulated cells into the body. And so,
what does that mean? What does that mean?
Meaning that I can't take your cells and just inject them into someone else and that be considered legal per the FDA. So for a company to classify something as stem cells, they have to have gone through FDA clinical trials, and that's why even on the Palangen website it just says amniotic tissue, because they can't say it's a real living cell in there. And so,
but okay, I understand what you're saying. But then, are you saying then any clinic that gets that imports their stem cells, they're not getting live, or they can't say they're live?
They don't have live stem cells in there. So these you look at they produce the white papers and the things that we've tested in our lab, they don't have living cells in these products. So they have growth factors.
No, I understand. But are they, this is, I didn't mean to get in a whole discussion, but you're really enlightening. So are you saying then, when you take them out of your own body, obviously they're still living?
Correct.
So do you feel, and have clinical results shown, that live stem cells differ from dormant cells?
So that's a little bit different. So when we talk about living tissue versus irradiated tissue like the Palangen product,
or any imported stem cell, because a lot of clinics, as I say, they import their stem cells. So talk about the difference.
Yeah, so the difference is being that you get tissue or bone marrow or even that fat tissue that comes directly from you, you're going to likely get the best product. You have less chances of it causing an immune reaction or rejection.
Okay, I understand that part. But there are thousands and thousands of procedures done, in the Denver area, and seldom do you get, a reaction like that as far as rejection. But what I want to know more than anything, the stem cell therapy is known to grow tissue and to become like the cells around them, and that's what's good about them. And they relieve pain, and they grow new tissue. Do both live stem cells do that, and the cells that are imported, dormant?
The key difference in the cells that are important is they're not stem cells. So these are growth factors. And so growth factors do have some healing potential and properties, just like growth factors in a PRP shot. But, these things are often marketed as stem cell products.
So you're saying you're telling me technically, anyone who has other cells shipped in, other than cells taken directly from people, or from themselves, from the donor who is the recipient, if they take in stem cells from other sources, they're not allowed to have live stem cells?
Correct, per the FDA guidelines. And we've tested these things, and we haven't come across any. We'd love to find some that have...
No, Dr. Williams, you're very, very enlightening. So, but you are saying that obviously all of these clinics importing these cells are getting benefits, and I'm wondering, what different benefits would you get from your own live stem cells versus imported stem cells?
Right, that's a good question. So the biggest benefit is that when we use bone marrow concentrate, which contains...
You know what? I want you to hold it and tell me when we come back from a break, because you're very interesting. So he's saying that imported stem cells are not stem cells because per FDA regulations, you can't import live tissue. You cannot inject live tissue into someone else from someone else unless you take them from the donor himself. So we're going to come back and talk about that just a little, and I'll go on to other calls as well. So let's talk to Brent. Hey, Brent, thanks for stopping by. I want to talk about a recent client you helped. We got some very positive feedback, and this is one of many. Can you explain it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I like to use these situations because I think this is relatable to so many people. We had a couple that called us. They wanted to consolidate debt. They had $22,000 worth, but the thing they were really concerned about was, one, going backward on their home loan, and two, stretching their debt out over 30 years. So here's what we were able to do. In the grand scheme of things, we were saving them $900 a month. We showed them how to take half of that savings, apply it back towards their new mortgage, so they're still saving $450 each and every month. But in applying the other $450 towards their mortgage, they eliminated 158 payments on a 30-year mortgage.
See, that's amazing.
Saving themselves $182,000 in interest on top of getting rid of their $20-some-odd thousand in debt.
So hold on. So they saved $450 a month.
Yeah, they put $450 away in their bank account every month. We took the other $450 because they were saving $900 total.
So so $900 total, and I understand half of it's going to pay down the principal, and half went to pay off their credit card debt that they had.
Well, the credit card debt went in the home loan, so $450 is going in the bank every month.
Right. And I
the
understand
other
that.
$450, yeah.
Is paying down their loan quicker. That's right. I understand it completely. It is so phenomenal. And in fact, if they wanted to put the whole $900, they'd pay off their home in no time. Do you have people, Brent?
Absolutely.
Do you have people, Brent, that buy a house with low interest rates, like 15-year loan, right? And they save so much money that they can cut that 15-year loan down to 7 years?
All the time. All the time. In fact, we see it more on the 30. You get out of a 30 and go to a shorter-term loan, your payment's not a whole lot different than your 30-year mortgage, but the rate is so much better.
See, this is what I love when I say ideal home loans for your ideal home loan. That's what I mean. They are dedicated to putting you in a better position than you were. That's the whole idea of refinancing. And even if you're purchasing the same, 303-867-7000. 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com.
Okay, so are we on right now?
2017 iHeartRadio Music Festival. 2 nights, 1 stage, over 20 of the biggest artists on the planet, celebrated with iHeartRadio fans from around the world for music's holy grail. Our sold-out 2017 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Coldplay, Pink, DJ Khaled, Thomas Rhett, The Weeknd, and more.
iHeartRadio.
Catch our iHeartRadio Music Festival TV special Wednesday and Thursday night, October 4th and 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on the
It's unusual to do commercials about this because if you're an addict, you're not going to listen. I hope you would. Meanwhile, this commercial is mainly aimed at family because usually it's the family and loved ones who recommend rehabilitation. They call the Raleigh House. We've met with these people. They are genuine from top to bottom. They absolutely have a love for people and for what they do. If you call the Raleigh House, they want to help you help the addict in your life, whether it's alcoholism, cocaine, heroin, ecstasy, meth. Painkillers are the biggest thing right now. Stimulants, sedatives, and even marijuana has caused problems for many. If you have a loved one who is an addict, they can help you approach them even. Here's the number for the Raleigh House, 720-893-5559, 720-893-5559. TheRaleighHouse.com, 720-893-5559. Did you know there's a way to list your home to attract multiple offers and incite bidding wars? Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Do you know what it is? Don't feel bad. Neither do most real estate brokers. But Frank Duran, the real estate man, uses this system in all of his listings.
There's simply no substitute for drive, discipline, passion, and experience. And we give you that.
Frank Duran, part of RE/MAX Alliance. No one better. 303-920-1622. 920-1622.
Take aim. Affordable interest mortgage. Let us show you how to own your home faster, not change your spending habits, and save over $100,000 in interest. It's your money. Call 720-895-0500 and take advantage of AIM's It's All About You event, where you receive $300 now for any closed loan. Use it for Home Depot, Bed Bath & Beyond, or Lowe's. And the opportunity for $1,000 cash, 3 days in Breckenridge, or a new LCD 55-inch flat screen. Call 720-895-0500 for details. If you are tired of paying mortgage insurance, stop. You're wasting your money. Need cash to pay off high interest rate debt, or to do that home upgrade you've put off for so long? Want to purchase a home with only 2% down and no mortgage insurance? Paperless loan approval, quick closes, and low rates. Take AIM, 720-895-0500. Find out why more Coloradans every day choose AIM for their mortgage. Call now to take advantage of the It's All About You event. $300 now and the opportunity for another $1,000. Call for details. Time is running out. 720-895-0500. And MLS 298-191. Regulated by DORA. Equal credit lender.
I'm saying we shouldn't care who we piss off, shouldn't we?
Smart weather guys don't know what to expect. Why? El Nino. But here's something you can count on. On-time service from Brothers Plumbing.
They take the stem cells out and then kill them and then inject.
No, you don't kill them. They're just not alive.
Plumbing and electrical service.
I mean, I don't think they intentionally, like they go through a process. I would guess they only live for so long.
Said something irradiated. He actually said
he used that word?
Yes.
He used that exact
I'm going to
word.
ask him about it. He actually said they irradiated.
I got it. I am so confused about it.
Hey, Mike, you jinxed me, bro.
Well, you know, there you go.
It's a very straight. Okay, I don't want to even say it. I'm just like,
yeah, I know. But you know what? It is what it is, and I've stood by what it is, and I have to stand by truth. And if it turns out, I will tell you. Well, my back is wonderful.
Well, we're not saying that's the whole thing, though. There has to be benefits to the other stuff.
That's why they're doing free education seminars, no obligation and no pressure. They have them all over the Denver metro area. North and south.
Well, we know that.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
there's been clinics that have been shut down. I mean, I just read some that were shut down last month.
For doing what?
You know, it's weird. They've been taking, all across the country, they take smallpox vaccine and mix it with this dead stuff we're talking about, and they inject it into you. I don't know why the smallpox vaccine, maybe because smallpox vaccine is alive? Is that a correct statement?
I thought it was either very weakened or dead.
I don't know anything about it.
But I mean, I've read like so many articles on it in the last 15 minutes.
By the way, we need to get flu shots.
Oh, I always get. Kaiser are free. We just walk in and get them.
So I had a guy come into my office who was an oral surgeon facing criminal charges. He was reusing needles. I'm like, how much money could you possibly save?
They're like a nickel.
Horrible.
That scares the hell out of me.
I know.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. You know, we had a call from a guy who said, I have a scheduled appointment for stem cell therapy, some clinic downtown. I don't know the clinic, but he said they use Palingen stem cells. And then I said, well, we have people on our referral list, and we'll talk to them. So I tried calling Dr. Dean Jones, Stem Cell Institute of America. We couldn't get him on the phone, so we went to another member of our referral list, Centeno Schultz Clinic. Dr. Chris Williams is talking to us now, and he said something that really surprised me. Now, I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's surprising because I haven't heard anything negative yet, but here's what he said, that the only real stem cells are ones you harvest from a body and keep alive. And you're not allowed to take one person, A, and transfer to another person, B, with live stem cells. Without, okay, first one step at a time. Why are you not allowed? If I took someone in compatible with me into your office, why couldn't you take their stem cells and put them in me? Doctor?
Hey, so yeah, so that could potentially cause a lot of problems. A, you know, from an infection disease standpoint, and also from, you know, when all of this kind of started with cancer patients, and that's really the only...
No, but I'm asking, though, is it legal to take someone's stem cells and transfer them to me?
Legal? Well, if you just take a person's bone marrow and inject it from one person to the next, that is not illegal to do that.
No, but I'm asking the stem cell treatment. You mentioned that you're not allowed to take living cells from another person and inject them into a recipient. Why?
Because you need a special drug classification from the FDA. You have to go through phase 1, 2, and 3 clinical trials to have that classified as a drug, because when you talk about stem cells, there's a difference in saying we're treating with bone marrow concentrate versus a living stem cell treatment. that means that the stem cells have been taken directly from the bone marrow, and you're going to inject the stem cell. And that is more than what the FDA says is minimal manipulation.
Okay, so you're not, so I want to be clear, you're not allowed to take a donor and take their marrow and get the stem cells out and use those stem cells on a recipient.
That is correct.
Okay, unless you went through all of that other rigmarole, which they haven't done. Right, so.
Correct.
So, to get around that, people started taking cells from themselves, getting the stem cells and re-injecting. That's how it started, right? People would get their own stem cells and inject them, and that's what you do at your clinic. Is that right?
Yes and no. So we inject bone marrow concentrate. So that's the key difference here. We need to recognize. So when we do stem cell procedures, we're doing stem cell procedures with the injection of bone marrow. We haven't taken the stem cells out of the bone marrow. We inject the bone marrow that contains a percentage of stem cells.
So,
that's the difference.
But you take my bone marrow and put it into me?
Correct. Only into you. Yes.
But I don't understand it. If I already have my bone marrow, why does it make a difference if you inject me with my own bone marrow?
So having the bone marrow in the back of the hip versus having the bone marrow where you have arthritis at are two different things. And so as we become older, the body's healing mechanisms decrease, and so it's not as efficient with the healing process. So honing in that bone marrow to, say, in your knee where you have knee arthritis is very different than
I understand. But why don't you, if you go through the trouble of taking out marrow, why don't you take out the stem cells alone and inject them? Why do you do the bone marrow concentrate?
Good question. So you still need to have that FDA drug classification to do that, because that's more than minimal manipulation. You can't
even of your own.
Correct. Even of your own.
Okay. No, I understand. I understand what you're saying. So then, but you're saying though, taking out bone marrow is the only way to get living stem cells into a patient, and there is no way that these clinics that have cells shipped in can ship in live stem cells.
Correct, and we haven't seen any of the data that when we test these products that show that there is living stem cells in the product. They have growth factors, but there is no living cells in the product.
Now, I was about to ask you, and again, I ran out of time, and I still want to ask you this, if you would be so kind as to hold. So, what is the difference if you take bone marrow from me and do it, or ship in these other stem cells or so-called stem cells? What's the difference, quickly? Is there more benefit to the living cell than to the shipped-in stem cell fluid?
Absolutely. So there's no data, for one, on any of these in the research. So when you take the bone marrow, it contains stem cells, mesenchymal stem cells, hematopoietic stem cells, PRP. But when you have a adipose, product, it only contains a small amount of growth factors. That's it. So the bone marrow has all of those growth factors at a higher level, as well as stem cells and other healing cells such as white blood cells and immune cells that are all beneficial.
So then technically, if they ship in this stuff, technically, they shouldn't say it's stem cells, because it's not, is what you're saying.
Correct. That's absolutely a bait and switch technique.
But you realize that almost every clinic does that. Almost every stem cell clinic ships in stem cells.
Correct, and that's where, regulation-wise, the FDA is starting to crack down on a lot of these clinics that are using that terminology, because it's not.
All right. Okay. Why don't you book Dr. Chris Williams to come to the studio one day?
I wanted to ask him one thing.
No, you can, and let's take a break, Mark.
Yep.
And we'll ask one more question. People, I will get to all of your calls. This is very, very important. Trust me, I love doing research.
Wow. That throw a little wrench in there.
For the most part, the highway drive.
It's so weird thinking about it. I think the guy knows what he's talking
about. If this guy's telling the truth, then it's a major deal.
Yes.
Now, he's not
off highway, a couple of crashes, one being reported.
He's not. I don't think he's saying that the imported Mark, we're talking about 98% of all clinics.
No. My only issue is how it's advertised.
Yeah. Well, not just that. I want to know if the imported stem cells have, he says they don't have as much benefit. Did he say that?
They just have growth factors.
He said they have nothing but growth factors.
And not as much benefit.
They don't have the white blood
Can you
cells.
imagine if I had all this success with imported fluid? What would I get with full blown?
Where do you think they pull it out of you for your back? That's where I loved your question. I don't understand the difference of my bone marrow in my shoulder and my bone marrow in my knee.
No, what he's saying is your bone marrow is not at the site of injury. It's in your bone, or it's in your blood. It's not in the point of injury. They literally inject it into the point
of injury.
Yeah, they don't put it back in your vein or back in your
they
bone.
put it into the point of injury.
They literally make it. So here's the deal. They are taking the growth factors of the bone, okay, and using it where it's like a hair transplant. They take where hair is still growing and put it where it's not. That's a hair transplant. Well, that's what they do with healing. They take healing cells where you have them and put them where you don't. That's exactly what they're doing.
That makes sense.
They're transplanting. That's what they're doing. They're transplanting.
To yourself. Right. Now, it is painful to take out your bone marrow.
Yes.
The reason I say that is for
when he says bone marrow, I got to ask him how he extracts that. What were you going to ask, by the way?
I want to know why in the past 30 days there's been clinics across the country all shut down for this mixture.
Oh, that's going to just throw a whole different thing into the bowl.
Yeah, but I'm just so curious about why all these were shut down. It's not one or two. You're talking tons of them. Why were they all buying from the same place?
What should I Google here?
Stem cell crackdown.
So the government's keeping, because they could even refine your bone marrow to take out just...
They're all August 28th, August 29th, they're all right now.
Clinics selling unapproved stem cell therapies.
Unscrupulous, everyone.
Announced a crackdown on stem cell clinics marketing and selling unapproved and potentially harmful therapies for cancer and other diseases. The agency took action against 2 large clinics in Florida. I wonder who they are.
Yeah, but this one I'm reading here is San Diego. I mean, they're all over.
Yeah.
Do they say they do anything to the bone marrow, or they just take it directly out and inject it?
I'm going to find out. He says it's concentrate, but...
So you think they spin it down into something, take out...
Well, he says you can't manipulate. It has to be minimally manipulated.
Right.
Otherwise, it becomes a drug. And if it's classified as a drug, you're not allowed to give it.
No,
although what's really weird is I'm gonna tell you a little trivia here. Do you know you do not need FDA trials for drugs that your doctor comes up with? If your doctor,
just like a pharmacy,
if your doctor, well, compounding pharmacy, if your doctor says mix this with this, and I'm going to treat your arthritis, even if the FDA has never done a test to no one, that doctor can prescribe that to you and anyone they want and call it arthritis treatment. Wow. But they can't market it. Right. But they can't, or I can't go on the air and say, go here for arthritis treatment. But they can, every patient they have, they can give it to.
So did you think you were getting stem cells from someone else?
What's that?
Did you think you were getting stem cells from someone else when you got your back treated?
Yes.
And what he's saying is that didn't happen.
He said I had growth factors put in there.
I see.
But you didn't.
I didn't have living stem cells put in.
I see.
But I didn't know that. I mean, it's called Stem Cell Institute of America.
Right.
For God's sake.
Right.
That's what kills me right there.
You know, I am shocked by what I heard from Dr. Chris Williams, and I'm going to do more research. He is basically saying that technically, you're not allowed to spin down blood and get just stem cells and inject them because it's more than minimally manipulated stuff. And when you manipulate stuff like that, it becomes a drug and therefore needs to go through trials. Is that a good synopsis, doctor, basically?
That is, Tom.
All right, so if you manipulate it a lot, it becomes a drug. So therefore, instead of doing that, you take the bone marrow concentrate and inject it, and it contains living stem cells. Where do you get the bone marrow from me if I come in there?
Yeah, so we take the bone marrow from the back of the hip. It's an extremely safe procedure that's been done.
Does it go into my bone? Do you literally take marrow out of the bone?
Out of the bone, yeah. So we place a small needle inside of the bone and aspirate out the marrow.
What does it look like?
It looks just like thick blood. So
okay.
If you've ever cut yourself,
okay.
It's very, very thick blood.
Okay, now, does it hurt?
No, it's very safe. I've had the procedure done. It's one of the most well-studied procedures. Has very low.
All right. And then when you say it's concentrate, what do you do with the marrow then?
So it's processed in our lab. We have a lab where we hand process all of our...
But what do you do with it? What do you do with it to concentrate it? Like spin it?
So it's processed in the lab. So we have a technician that does use a centrifuge and then separates out the products by hand. So that's what separates our procedure from a lot of others that just put it into a bedside machine and then spit it out and then inject it into a patient.
And then you inject the concentrated bone marrow into a person with living stem cells.
Correct.
And you're saying you would love to find a source, a lab that could export or deliver living cells, but you have not found any. And you're saying every clinic that has stem cells brought in, they are not living stem cells.
Correct, yes. And Dr. Centeno is very adamant about this, and he's open to it, and he's tested these products time and time and again, and we've yet to see any that have actually any living tissue or cells in them. So
then why would they call themselves stem cells? Why would they say we're treating you with stem cells?
That is the issue. Therein lies the issue, because there are no stem cells in the actual product.
Now, recently, the FDA has been shutting down a lot of clinics. And they specifically shut down some that are mixing stem cells, Mark said, with something else. What are they, Mark?
A lot of them I was reading in August was with smallpox vaccine.
Have you heard about that, Dr. Chris?
Yeah, so there's an issue in Florida where you had one clinic, that's the problem. That you have a clinic that's trying to be a jack of all trades, and they were injecting various things and also mixing their product with some smallpox samples as well. And so that clinic has been shut down, and also a clinic in Florida that caused, unfortunately, 3 patients to go blind by injecting into the retina of someone's eye as well.
All right.
So,
Dr. Chris, I want you and Dr. Centeno to come in. Let's try to arrange that with Suzanne. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Listen, folks, we discuss everything on this show because my ultimate goal is to help people and to find the truth. We have more coming up. You stick around.
What doctor did? She walks up to me with
I'm consumer advocate
going into my retina.
Okay, guys,
it ain't happening.
Mark, we're going to have a problem because I may have to do something that people aren't going to be happy with.
All right, we can switch it right to.
I hope they'll do it.
Well, that was the first call I took.
I'll put up for trades because I want to get the real stuff. Can you imagine what it would do? It's my shoulder. I want to get that done.
I wonder if we inject it into his arm, if he could actually make a basket.
Are you kicking people off the list for this?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We just got to see. That's why he's like, do you want to get some done? This was way before this. I read about some of these where they're just like, they're taking shit, just like that smallpox, and like trying to create shit and then shooting it into people. I ain't no guinea pig, man.
Right.
Really what I thought some of the clinics are doing, and I bet they have, if you think about it, let's say your knee hurt. What would make that knee feel better if I gave you an injection almost immediately? Cortisone.
Right.
I thought they were basically taking some stuff, putting some kind of either cortisone or some kind of what's it called? Athlete's take it. Cortisone is just a
steroid.
A steroid. Oh, and then you shoot people and they come in every month. Well, of course that knee's going to feel better, but meantime you're tearing your leg apart You just don't feel the pain.
Right.
So that's what I thought some of these clinics were doing.
I wonder if they can help knees. My knees are kind of a mess.
They say knees almost 100%.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they said.
I got to tell you, my uncle, man, I know 3 people now that put off knee replacement, and when they finally did it, I don't know if you need knee replacement.
I don't think I'm there.
But when they finally did it, all 3 of them kicked themselves for living miserably for so many years.
Right.
So don't fall into where they did.
Yeah, no, I'm not there. I just, like, if I run or, you know, my knees will hurt.
Yeah.
Running is destructive to your body.
Yeah, yeah.
Cycling is way better.
Yeah.
Or swimming.
Well, it's not hard impact.
Swimming.
Yeah.
You know, here's what's funny.
I find the Stairmaster's not as bad. Just
No,
being on
No.
You don't move.
Orthopedic doctors say, you know, people try to get healthy. And they are getting healthy cardiovascular-wise.
Right.
But you're killing your joints. It's not. You're
Right.
not made to run 26 miles.
No.
We're not made to do that.
I agree with that.
No, you're right.
No, we're not made for. We're not made
I
for
was a
repetitive
runner
motion.
all my 20s. You know, my 30s and my knees started hurting. It was just like, I can play basketball without the knee pain that I get. Just the repetitive run about a mile. My knees are screaming.
It was you hand the baton off. It was called the Rock and Roll Marathon.
Did you guys do a practice handoff?
No.
But do you ever truly? I'm serious. Do you realize? I mean, just think about people who get a diagnosis like ALS. I mean, we just take for granted our health, I think. But just think
They'll
about
try
somebody,
anything.
But think about somebody that they're thinking, okay, I'm going to deteriorate, and I'm going to be paralyzed, and I'm going to someday not be able to talk. I'm going to be trapped in my body. I'm going to have excruciating pain. I'm going to die. How do people cope with that? Every single day, we should be reminded to appreciate what we have. Because I fucking start complaining about the smallest things.
Yeah.
And I just read about some of these people going to stem cell clinics in dire need, hoping it's there. It's a last hope.
They're actually putting these things right into tumors.
And it makes me want to cry, though, because imagine living with a diagnosis like this. I mean, just imagine. And here we are, healthy and happy.
Well, we know it happens a lot of times, Russ Johnson.
You know what, though, Mark? I don't know if I blame people for wanting to take their own lives. Just go out. Why wait to the bitter end? Just put yourself to sleep.
I think you see it a lot, like Christopher Reeve type thing. You know, Christopher Reeve. He fell off a horse, right? He became paralyzed. At first, he was like a champion, and then over time, it's like, this sucks, right? My life sucks. I think it's hard to keep that mentality up in the face of being paralyzed. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing. If I think about it too much, I get frustrated because I can't help that. I can't help that.
Right.
And I think it's just not fair.
No, totally not fair.
Did we even go back to this guy waiting for his question on stem cells? Is he still on the air?
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. By the way, you can get right through. Well, we have full lines, but we also have another line people seldom use when we're on the air. That's funny. They use it all night, and they use it all day, but when we're on the air, they don't tend to use it. It's 303-MARTINO, which is good 24/7. And I mean 24/7. 303-MARTINO. Why? Because that is routed to our office, then to our voicemail, and when we're on the air, to the studio. It's routed everywhere we are, and you can always get a hold of us. 303-713-TALK or 303-MARTINO. Now, people, we are here to help you with everything, and we hinted at a new service Mark and I wanted to do, and we'd like to do it live. But if you want to buy anything, $500 or more, anything at all, we want you to get your best deal, and we will go out and find someone to beat it live on the air.
Well, I wouldn't say anything, but yes, you're right.
Well, if we don't, there's no downside. You just don't. If we can't do it, you can get, we'll buy you lunch. No, who cares, right? Come in and we'll buy you lunch. What I'm saying is this. You have nothing to lose. If you want to buy anything, vehicles, equipment, computers, anything that you want, we are betting, fun bet, that we can save you money. So you get your best price ever. And we'll do it live on the air. So, Isn't that a great challenge? That's all you have to do. Call us anytime or email us live@troubleshooter.com. It's part of our streaming deals. We have streaming deals we put up from time to time. This is going to be live streaming deals. Yes, Mark?
We are really close to that relaunch.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is we had a few technical difficulties.
We had some beta testing going on. Beta testing. Now, we have Mike Wink with us today from Wink & Wink. It's a bankruptcy firm that does Chapter 7s and Chapter 13s. He and his wife, Gigi, Mike and Gigi Wink, they're really good people, and they're people. You know what I mean? They're not going to judge you. They're going to help you through difficult times.
Mike, if someone hires you and you're not available, am I correct in saying Gigi would help and vice versa?
That's right.
Or do you still have individual clients?
No, we tell everyone that if you work with us, you could work with one or both of us.
Good.
It's a twofer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel badly for Greg. Greg wanted to call. Suzanne, I'm so sorry because I didn't take Greg, and he wanted to give us a follow-up, and I'm so sorry.
I could tell you about it.
But you tell Greg that we'll send him a T-shirt, a really nice T-shirt, and some other, and we'll buy him lunch if he wants to come
Tom,
in. I feel badly about it.
He was in Georgetown. The orange cable, the Comcast cable, was in his yard for over a year, and then he contacted us. We got him in touch. It got buried a couple days ago.
Great.
So Georgetown.
Great news.
He owes us lunch.
Yeah. But I just want to tell him I'm very sorry for overlooking that call, truly. Now, Jane, I don't know how we ended with her, but Blue Sky Restoration, she left the wall uncovered. They think it's done. We got sidetracked with stem cells. So, Jane, I'm so sorry. Were we going to call? No, we weren't. Okay, Jane, I'm sorry, dear. We got really sidetracked.
I think they're on the referral. Are they on the referral list?
No.
No, okay.
No. It sounded familiar to me, too, Mark.
I think we have a Blue Sky Heating and Air or something.
Yeah. Jane?
Yes.
Okay, so let's pick up where we left off. Bottom line, they left a wall uncovered. Why would they believe? Now, when you say uncovered, there is just one sec. When you Jane,
and they left damages in
Jane,
their home, so I want to make that very clear.
Okay, I need to ask some basic questions. When you say uncovered, do you mean no drywall?
I was promised that.
Jane, I just need some basic questions. Jane, I know you're frustrated. I know you want to. Okay. We're not going to communicate right now, but I need some basic answers. I promise I heard your story, and I know you're frustrated. I promise you that. And so many people, I know you don't think I'm giving you a chance, but I need basics first. I'm
trying to explain that it's a plastic.
Jane, I need just some yes or no's right now, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you talk as much as you want. The wall that is uncovered, what does it look like?
It is basically open sheetrock with a window sill that just cut out.
What do you mean open sheetrock?
We got pictures.
Is there a notch cut in it?
You know what? I'm not the person. I'm not a builder.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She just sent me pictures. Okay, let me look here.
I don't know. What's this?
I don't see anything in the drywall open. I don't see in these pictures.
It almost looks like the one that looks like two garage windows, although it's not.
So it's a sill that's open. And the sill is littered with debris that we were told would be specially vacuumed up with all kinds of special
I know. I see the photos, Mark, but I don't know what I'm looking at here. I really don't. I'm trying to find. So obviously you're not satisfied. Okay, is that what she's talking about right there? Open. Yeah. Okay, so there's a notch in the drywall. Okay, I thought you meant they left the whole.
It's like a crack, I guess.
That can't be considered done.
Okay. But that's not what I'm referring to as open.
Okay.
What I'm referring to as open is I was told they would put a plastic covering on this wall because there was an abatement there. And that never happened.
Now, when you say an abatement, what do you mean?
I was told there was asbestos.
Okay. And they were going to put a plastic, they removed the asbestos?
Covering, yes.
Okay. So
I'm not sure what they did. I honestly don't understand what they did.
Can we have someone look at this, one of our experts?
Where is she?
Where are you located?
I'm in Denver.
Hey, Jane, how long ago did they stop coming? When's the last time they were there?
It was 2 months ago, and this job was a single job, and they're just charging for that single job. I don't think there's anything else.
Well, besides the plastic over that, what else is needed?
She said the whole job is deplorable.
Yeah, but they're a restoration company, right? I mean,
but they're supposed. But you can contract them to fix it, to restore it, not just.
Is that what she did, though?
We're working with someone else. We will not go back to working with them. We also had a charge for content cleaning.
Okay, so what do you want then? If you don't want them back in your home, that's how we left it off. What do you want then?
I do want them to remove the incomplete and improper items that they did in the job.
When you say remove, what do you mean remove them?
So I've itemized a list, and I did send that to Suzanne.
I have it.
As far as each item that was not finished or was done in a way that left me with damages.
So, but I don't understand. I still don't understand what you want them to do.
She wants
you don't want
them
back
to
in your
remove
home.
the charges.
Yeah, because those things are
okay. Okay, I get it. Now, because you're saying you got no value from these items, so these are the items. I see. Okay, good. So you have...
I had damages. I was left with a huge gouge on my bamboo flooring. I was left with chipped stairs.
What does this mean? That you want this replaced? You say add for personal protective equipment, heavy duty, $59. Now, you want that removed. Is that what this means?
Well, there's a list that I sent already that of items that need
This is your list, I thought. No? Suzanne?
No, that sounds good.
Okay. I don't see...
She sent me a lot, Tom. I can try to print that, too.
I just need to know what she wants. I mean, that's our basic question. What do you want? And then we'll try to get it if Blue Sky did a bad job. And she doesn't want to work with Blue Sky anymore. She just wants basically a discount for either work that was done improperly or work that wasn't done. Is that right? Can you say a yes or no to that? You're looking for a discount. Okay, what do you remember, without me looking at your list, I will look at it later, do you remember what it all adds up to?
It adds up to $2,100.
Okay.
And what was the total bill with them?
What was the total bill with them?
$2,100 and some cents.
No, excuse me. The entire job was how much?
That's it.
And so you want a full refund?
Well, I'm asking for about $1,800 off for the things that were done improperly.
But hold on, no, hold on. If the whole job was $2,100, you want how much back?
$1,800.
Okay. Did your insurance pay for this?
No, they have not.
No. I'm asking, is this an insurance claim, the $2,100?
No, not at this point. No.
Will it be?
No, because I'm going to work with a different contractor.
How did they do abatement?
No, wait a minute.
For $2,100.
Why didn't you turn this into your insurance?
I did, and they just said that at this point it's on me, so I don't know.
What is on you at this point? That's what I don't understand. What is on you?
To find another contractor to work with going forward.
I understand that, but the abatement they did, the disaster restoration they did, that should be covered by your insurance. Did you get any insurance money at all?
I did have some coverage, probably, it's in part for that, but the thing is now I can't get someone else.
Here's what I need to know. Jane, if you don't talk to me and just answer simple questions, I can't help you. I just need to know, what was the total amount you got from your insurance?
About $2,500 for this.
Okay. $2,500 for this. What does that mean for this? For
this area with this abatement was supposed to be, I guess, around $2,000.
Okay.
I guess it was estimated around $2,000 to $2,500.
Okay. Now, you paid them $2,100. You want $300. You only want to pay $300 because you want $1,800 back. Okay. Do you think that's reasonable? Because for them to come in and do the abatement, you think it's only worth $300?
Yes.
That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. You cannot get anything done for $300, and I think it might be a little unreasonable. I don't know how you're coming up with that figure. We'll look at it off the air. I don't want to bore everybody, but Mark, she is saying...
one of the things she's asking for, listen to this, it says workers had no coverings or overalls and walked all over the house in asbestos. She wants $1,140 to clean her contents.
That's totally not unreasonable if they did that. She has to do some... I mean, I don't know if they got it all over, but if did you get an estimate on cleaning your contents?
Yes, this was part of the estimate.
The cleaning of your contents.
Yes, this was part of the invoice and part of what was initially estimated for that.
Okay, so you just want that amount of money because they didn't do it.
Were they willing to come out and make this right?
Are you saying the $1,100 was part of the $2,100?
It's very simple. They did not do the job they came out here to do, and
Right.
I'm having to hire
But
someone
here's
else.
what I'm asking. The $2,100 that you paid, you said that was part of the invoice. Were they supposed to have cleaned your stuff for $1,100 out of... So literally, $1,100 of that $2,100 was to clean your stuff, and they didn't do it.
Correct.
Then I agree with her, Mark. If they charge her $2,100 and didn't do that job, they should subtract that amount from that money.
Yeah, I was reading this like she wanted an additional $1,100 because they didn't. They were walking around.
She's saying it was part of the $2,100. It was part of the $2,100, and they didn't do it. What else did she say? What else? Give me another big one.
Well, really, that's about it. It looks, let's just call over there. I still don't understand how you can do abatement for $2,100, though. It seems awful cheap.
And I don't understand, but if they put down, what we have to see is her original estimate. She said they had $1,100 down to clean her stuff, and they didn't do it. So therefore, she should get the $1,100 back. But I don't see anywhere on their contract where they listed $1,100 for cleaning her stuff. Look at it, Mark. This is terrible. Let's keep going. I know it's terrible because Mike Wink, he just fell asleep. Mike, wake up. Jesus. I'm trying to help people. I know it can get weird. Vernon.
Yes.
You are having a problem with a contractor. Surprise, surprise. What is your problem? Is it serious?
No, it's not serious. I sold a house in one city.
Yes.
And I had money left over, so the new house we moved into, we needed a basement, a bedroom, and a bathroom put in. So I used the equity that I had, the balance between the two, to have that done. And I paid a guy. And
did you pay him up front?
Yes, I did.
How much did you pay him?
$2,300.
Okay.
$20,500.
Now hold on a sec. I'll come right to you. You said $23,500?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever? And this is okay if you didn't. Have you ever listened to this show before?
No, sir. I
haven't. I know a lot of people who call me for help are not regular listeners. That's what's amazing. You know why? Because and I will help you. I will attempt to. Most of the people that listen to us don't have, honest to God, don't have these problems. So most of the people who call actually are not listeners. They're people who found me out of desperation after using another list or another service or contractors, and they violated everything I preach every single day. Had they been listening, they would not have had the problems. That is why so many people who call the show are not listeners. And that's not a requirement. We'll help you anyway, Vernon. I just wish you had listened. You would have used the referral list. You would have never had these problems. Seriously. I think we have maybe 1 out of 1,000 serious problems. Would you say that? Or even less? A serious problem. Maybe less even. 1 out of 1,000 jobs.
And certainly not walking off with a bunch of money.
Right. We have more coming right up. I need to, who do I need to tell? Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ, Dr. Kent Lawson, he simply amazes me. Dr. Kent Lawson has proven at Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ that you can widen your palate as an adult and naturally straighten your teeth. He widens your palate over time using mouthpieces that you wear at night. And then he has special appliances that you wear during the day. And nobody will know about it. While you're widening your palate, your teeth will be getting naturally straighter. And then he finishes off the job with Invisalign braces. The whole thing from beginning to end. Only 2 years. Imagine that. Naturally restored, beautiful smile. In 2 years. For a fraction of the cost of veneers or cosmetic dentistry. A fraction. That costs like $60 grand to have your mouth done. And implants cost $6,000 a piece. He can help you without surgeries. Yes, without surgeries and without extractions. Unless, of course, you have a bad tooth. Now, here's what he's going to do. He's going to do this in 2 years if you just give him a call and ask about it. He'll tell you all of the details. He also can correct while he's doing it TMJ or sleep apneas, which mostly come from small palates and also improper tongue placement and other things that are corrected when he corrects your jaw. It's just wonderful. Dr. Kent Lawson, the New Orthodontics, 303-690-0100, 303-690-0100.
This report is brought to you by Amazon. For the most part,
It is too bad that people
Don't know how to answer questions?
No, they don't know how to protect themselves. This poor sap gave $23,000.
Right. Yeah. But listening to you with that woman reminds me of so many people I talk to all the time where it's like, just answer my questions. I know what I need to know. I don't. Your whole story.
Especially in yours, because you must have.
Oh, they just want to tell you their story. It's like,
oh, it happened. It wasn't my fault.
Right. It's just, can we focus in on a few things is all I need. I can't tell how many times I tell people, it doesn't matter why you have your debt. It doesn't matter. Unless you were defrauding people.
Oh my God, they want to tell you.
Yeah, it's like, it really, you know, the law.
How much do they want to tell you?
We're part therapists. Always have tissues on the desk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We don't have tissues.
I want to talk to you about something very serious, and that's addiction. I'm going to
tell you a few things that we can all agree on when it comes to addiction. First, most people who are addicts did not want to be. Second, addiction will never, ever, ever get better on its own. You need treatment. You need help. It's not going to get better on its own. Now, the Raleigh House recognizes this. They have seen what addiction can do to a family, to a community, and they established with me this hotline, and they have their caring, loving staff available to answer this line for you, to answer anything you need to know about rehab or treatment. They are an addiction treatment center. They have multiple locations, theraleighouse.com. And this number is specifically for my listeners who want to call and find out everything. Like, what's it all about? Well, at the Raleigh House, it's medical and behavioral, environmental, psychological, nutrition, supplements, blood work. They also want to know, how long is it? Well, at the Raleigh House, it's 90 days. Other places are shorter. Other places are longer. They want to know, what will it cost? They want to know, will insurance pay? Yes, many times, most of the time it does. So here's the deal. Just call them. How do I approach my mother, my father, my aunt, my uncle, my wife, my husband? How do I approach my child, my teen? They will tell you and give you hints depending on your situation. In short, this number is for you to use for any information. Whether you're going to go to the Raleigh House or not, it will help you. So please call if you have any questions about addiction, because it's never going away. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. TheRaleighHouse.com.
Right now, 14 million men are living with prostate cancer. These are our fathers, uncles, sons, brothers, and friends, and me. I have prostate cancer. In the U.S., 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed, and a man dies every 20 minutes from this.
I was calling over there, and Suzanne's like, no, she doesn't want us calling.
Well, at first,
and I'm thinking, why the hell is she calling the damn show?
She was scared of retaliation.
Look.
God almighty. She's kind of in that. She's in that.
Mark, see, we have to let people know about help, right? They find us when they need it.
Any curiosity about stem cell therapy?
Oh, shit, this product.
So,
what is it?
The stem cell.
We just got to change it to growth factor.
No, I'm telling you, I'm not going to do it if it's growth. If this guy's telling me the truth, I'm not doing it.
Growth factor therapy.
Why don't they? Really, why wouldn't they call it that? What? Why wouldn't they call it growth factor?
So are you guys going to your referral list for the cheapest deals? Because that gives me some heartburn.
What do you mean?
Not for you.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
We're not talking about. We're talking about.
You're offering.
We're talking about products.
I don't want to call that says, can you beat the cheapest bankruptcy guy out there? I'm going to say, no, I can't. But I will be accountable for my service.
Mike,
you know?
we're not doing professional service.
Okay, good.
We're doing products.
Okay. So like
right now we have a sink up there for $29.
I got you.
Contractors, but not like number 855.
Okay.
No, even contractors is pretty tough because everything's bid oriented.
Right.
No, we're
what I'm
talking.
saying is a lot of these problems that your people get stem from cheap stuff.
No.
You're right. You can even try to block it.
That's pretty ballsy, man.
Go! I'm not going to do it yet.
Oh, no, it's off. I don't. He wouldn't let me run. I was up there to block it. No, sorry, no.
Oh, man, that's
you said no, you can't block it. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Vernon, listen, man, this is terrible, man. I hope you did not lose your $23,500. You sold your home, you had some extra moolah, you wanted to put it into your new home, or the home you just bought, and you gave the guy $23,500. Where did you find the guy? I know it wasn't on my referral list, so where did you find him?
Well, I'm blind, and these people came by the house. This lady came by the house. My wife actually talked to her, and she had a card from HomeWise.
But how did she find you? She just happened to be coming by?
Yeah, there's some. I wasn't here at the time.
Yeah.
She gave my wife a card from HomeWise. Well, we've heard that HomeWise ad on TV and thought it was legitimate.
I don't even know what HomeWise is. It's just another one of these lists. You know, I mean, I don't know if it is. I don't know what it is. But why? What I don't understand is she just happened to be coming by the house, and you needed work done.
Right.
Okay, gotcha. So then, what happened?
Well, they said they have contractors that they refer, and the first guy that showed up was actually a concrete guy and says, well, I don't do this, but I know a guy who does framing and stuff, and so he sent him to me, and the guy was, you know, he's a nice guy, and talked everything, and so I paid him, and
it's another list. It's another list. I'm looking it up online. Okay, so you paid him, and just tell me the guy that you finally did. Okay, you paid him $23,500. What did he do? I just need some basics right now. What did he do for that?
I had a bunk of lumber I'd already bought because I knew I was going to be doing.
What did he do?
He used up my bunk of lumber.
How did he use it?
He framed in the closets. He framed in the bedroom.
Okay.
And the bathroom walls and everything.
Okay, so did he frame in was this a basement you were doing? Yes. Did he frame in the whole basement?
No, just the bedroom and bathroom.
Okay. Now, how much was that? Now, what was he supposed to do for the $23,500? What was he supposed to do?
Completely do it all. Put in, you know, the furnishings, the tub.
Okay. When was why did he stop coming by?
Well, first he called and said, "Well, the electrician and the plumber I have are busy and can't do this. You'll need to find an electrician and plumber." That was his first thing. I found an electrician and plumber. I put their names on the building, you know, the permit thing, and he wouldn't work with them. He set up an appointment with the plumber.
So then what happened? Okay, after all that, then what?
After all that, nothing. I can't.
What's his name? What's this guy's name?
David Garcia.
What area is he in?
I believe he's out of northern Denver area, Westminster.
What's his phone number?
What's that phone number for him?
God, I'm so pissed
I'm going to call him. I mean, I'm
so pissed off.
You know, no offense to this guy. The guy ripped off a blind man. I mean, this is like out of the newspaper.
What is this HomeWise crap? Who are they, and how did they find David Garcia? What was the woman's name at your door?
I don't know what her name is. She gave us a magnet you put on the refrigerator.
Okay, do you have a number for HomeWise?
Okay, HomeWise is, that's an...
No, David Garcia.
Hold on, I want both. What's HomeWise's number?
Hon, you got that box?
And how is HomeWise spelled? H-O-M-E-W-I-S-E, or is it W-Y-S-E?
Hang on a minute, I'll have to get
that
magnet.
Let's let him get all his stuff together.
Yeah.
And then we'll pick him right back up.
Hold on a second. Just get your stuff together. Ryan's got a bankruptcy question. Go ahead, Ryan. Mike Wink is with us from Wink and Wink.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what the situation where I got in this situation. I had a credit card that they were taking automatically out of my account every month, and I guess for some reason they quit taking payments, and I didn't know why, and I guess I didn't pay attention to that they weren't doing it. And after 8 months, they finally called me and said, your account has been closed. You need to pay us $4,900 right now. And I said, well, I don't have that. Is there any way I can just start making payments again? And they said no. And next thing I know, now I'm getting a call from a...
Well, of course. They want to be paid.
Well, I do understand that, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't have $4,900 to pay them right now.
Sure.
So Now they send me to a collection agency,
right?
And now they want like $700 a month.
How much are you in debt?
Well, total, I mean, with credit cards, probably about $14,000.
What do you make a year?
Oh, roughly 60, 62, somewhere around there.
How old are you? That's not bad.
38.
Do you have kids?
I have a girlfriend that has kids. I've been with for 6 years.
Okay, so what do you do for a living?
It's the funeral industry.
Okay, so do you not have enough to pay your bills?
No, I was paying it. I had no problem paying it. Everything was going great, and all of a sudden they just quit taking it, and then.
But when you say they quit taking it, what do you mean? They sent it back?
No, it was coming out of my checking account automatically. I had it set up.
So when they stopped taking it, you didn't notice?
No, I guess I didn't balance it that well. I mean,
so you should have theoretically some extra money.
Yes, and I would have. I didn't offer to pay them quite a bit of money, and they said no. Your account's closed now. We need it all in full.
The problem is they already sold that debt. It sounds.
It's called accelerated, and they accelerate it, and it's done. But okay, go ahead.
But therein lies the opportunity, because you know while your credit is going to be the sacrificial lamb in the equation, rightly or wrongly, the good news is that deals get done in collections, and if they're asking for $700 a month, that doesn't mean you have to pay them $700 a month. And what you need to do is think about an offer that will work for you and pay off some fraction of what is owed. If you said it was 40, did you say it was 4,900? Did I hear that right?
Yes.
But he has 14,000 in all.
Right. Well, that's a separate issue, right? So one issue would be if we're saying you're financially doing okay and you just have a $4,900 problem that you can try to settle, I'd say maybe offer them 6 months of payments at $400 a month. That might get you there. Another way to go would be to say you really can't afford the $14,000 of debt, particularly if the girlfriend's not working and you're really a household of 4 living on $60,000. In that scenario, bankruptcy could take care of all of the debt for less than even what I just suggested you offer to pay for the $4,900.
Right. You could do a Chapter 13 or a Chapter 7. A Chapter 7, you'd be done. A Chapter 13, you'd pay a portion. So, I don't know. What...
I guess that's my question. I mean, what is my best scenario?
Well, it's up to you.
We've got a guy on the referral list that will actually call up and negotiate, and he only gets paid off of what he saves you. So if he ends up, getting you a settlement for $1,000, you're only going to owe him about $300, and you just saved over $4,000.
And we're happy, Ryan, to schedule a free consultation, and our commitment to you is objective advice, right? We're not going to talk you into something you don't need. It's just an opportunity for you to find out what your options are and make informed decisions about what you should do.
So we suggest you start there. Just talk to them. They also can do settlements as well, and then we have someone on the referral list that does that. Mark, give out the name of the settlement.
Debt Relief a la carte, 303.
I love this guy.
952. 4894. What I love is
I've known him for years.
He'll come back, he'll settle it, and you only pay him like 10% on the difference.
On what he saved you. And then Wink and Wink, 303-410-1720.
I mean, Mike, he's in a precarious situation because if he's making $60,000, only owes $14,000, it's almost impossible to see how he actually could do a no-asset.
Oh, he definitely could. He definitely, like I said, if you call that girlfriend and her kids dependents, which is really an inquiry into their financial situation and how they run things.
Right, okay.
A household of 4 making $60,000 is, got good potential for debt relief and bankruptcy.
All right, 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. All right, I love Pro Auto Care. Al Aramis has been in business 25 years. I use Al for all my normal maintenance, even though I have beautiful cars from Rolly Purifoy. And, of course, he does the warranty work at Purifoy. But, Al can do maintenance for you no matter where you bought your car, normal maintenance. He also plugs it into his system and gives you reminders on everything due on that car. Everything, and if it's a factory thing, you can go to Purifoy Chevrolet or go to a dealer where you bought it. But here's the deal. Al has so many wonderful customers that just have learned that he takes care of them because of the email reminders and because of, listen to this, the free, absolutely free roadside assistance in between every single service. And warranties in between every single service. You're really coddled and treated well at Pro Auto Care. Go to his website to look at all the specials he has. 303proauto.com. That's the website. And they're Tom Martino specials for my listeners. Tom Martino specials. It's 303proauto.com. And that's the phone number, too. 303-PRO-AUTO.
This report is brought to you by ZipRecruiter, the smartest way.
A couple spots in the drive across the metro area right now. Off highway, the westbound Hamden off-ramp to southbound Santa Fe shuts down. That's because of a semi-rollover from this morning's rush hour drive. We got to get that cleared out of the way. Big mess there. No estimated time when that will reopen, so you'll have to use an alternate route. Probably you'll be there for a good chunk of the rest of today.
So you're saying you're saying a guy calls up to say, hey, I want this footer or skateboard,
the weather forecast.
and you're going to say, I can get you the cheapest price. That's what, how does it work?
Say it again.
So someone calls up for a product and say, I can buy this from Walmart or whatever.
No, it's got to be over $500.
Okay.
Your position.
But is it like
Like, let's say when you go out and you get a hooker, and she wants $600.
They're $300.
I can find you one for $50.
I heard you say most anything.
Hey guys, artofgranite.com, artofgranite.net. I mean,
Mitch Floria and his crew will impress you at the art they do with your granite. Now, of course, he doesn't do just granite. He'll do any solid surface counters, and he doesn't charge a markup on any of the counter material, no matter what it is. You can buy it from him or from any supplier with his wholesale account. He only charges for fabrication and installation, and he also does cabinets for a small markup direct from the manufacturer. Now, here's the deal. He'll tear out and haul away your old kitchen free. And if you have stuff done in the bathroom at the same time, he'll do that free for whatever he does in the kitchen. It's unbelievable. All you need to do is give him a call and start the ball rolling. He'll ask for some square footage maybe, and he'll ask for a photo, and he'll give you a price so close it's not going to change much. But then you go and pick out the actual cabinets and counter material, and he'll give you an exact price. He'll get the whole thing done in 1 to 4 weeks, depending on the complexity. Artofgranite.net, 303-386-5919. Open 7 days a week, serving the entire metro area and all the mountain communities. 303-386-5919.
Pam and I purchased our timeshare in 1979. We went to our timeshare twice a year for years. Boy, I miss those days. In 2012, I lost Pam to breast cancer. I knew I had to get out of our timeshare.
Of course, one guy.
Back there.
23.5
Timeshare exit team.
Finally, I found timeshare exit team.
Yeah. 8 years later, I'm still in it.
No, they've been taking care of. Time changes everything. If your timeshare no longer fits your life, go to timeshareexitteam.com.
Having had lower back issues for 25 years, I'd almost given up on getting relief of my pain and getting back to the very active life I used to love. Hey, it's Orskinsky, and now that I'm a client of Downtown Healthcare, I want to pass to doing just that.
I got a client out recently, $500 she paid me. We just called and said, and it was honest, it's like, this is her only debt that would make her file bankruptcy.
More active life of hiking, biking,
and they let her out.
More fun. Learn more at Downtown's Healthcare.
But there are some, and I made $500 out of the
for the timeshare.
Yep.
So you should, if it's an active property that they think they can resell, they'll take it back.
Right. Well, I mean, I was very honest with my client. I was like, I don't know, but look, I'm happy for $500 to give him a call, and it worked.
Fake news here.
Was it done? You would have given the money back?
No, but I mean, I was billing her hourly, so I would have billed for my gotcha.
I'm going to convert our house in Franktown into a timeshare. And I think you want to come out every 2 weeks for a year.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome, 303-713-TALK. Jesse, what's going on? Oh, wait, Vernon, what are we doing with Vernon, by the way? We were going to.
We're waiting for that phone number. I wanted him to give it out.
Hold on, Jesse, 1 sec. Vernon, do you have
David Garcia's?
David Garcia.
I have it. I didn't know you guys wanted to give it on the air.
Did you
I'll
call?
put it on the line.
Did you call?
No, I'm going to call this guy.
All right, Mark wants to call the guy. Now, did he give the? Do you have HomeWise's number, Vernon?
Yes, and I also gave that to her.
When's the last time you talked to this clown?
Almost a month now.
And how do you spell HomeWise? Is it with a Y, HomeWise, or with an I?
No, with an I.
Okay. I'm looking them up. And listen, we'll try to help you, Vernon, but, man, this is a big one. This guy probably doesn't have your money. And I don't know if you'll get it. Now, we really need to come down hard on this guy and this David Garcia, but God almighty, it just happens too much. I hope you listen from now on, Vernon. It's a very entertaining show, plus we do help people. We really do. Jesse, your turn, and we will get back to Vernon, okay? We're going to follow this up. Jesse, what's going on?
Hi there.
Hi.
I have no heat in my apartment building because the property management company will not turn on whatever switch they need to turn on to make it work.
Why?
So my thermostat works fine. I assume that they just don't want to pay for it. They said that they would turn it on in mid-October, and so for the last week we've had temperatures overnight in the low 40s or high 30s, and me and my kids are...
No, I understand. It's very basic.
Yep, yeah, heat's included in the rent. We pay...
Now, do you have
$25.
Other people around you that are in the same situation?
The entire building, I would assume it's everybody.
Okay.
I assume it's the whole complex. I mean, I haven't gone door to door, but...
And you have a lease?
Yep.
For how long?
This will be my last renewal, so it'll expire at the end of April of next year.
Okay. Now,
but
you
I've
understand...
been there for 3.5 years.
You understand that without heat, you can evict yourself. You can do a constructive eviction.
I do, yeah, I am aware of that. We're actually leaving state next year, so...
Okay.
My kids are...
No, I understand. You don't... Now,
yeah.
So this guy, I mean, he just flat out says he's not going to turn it on.
Right. Not until mid-October. And
is this a manager or an owner? Do you know?
So the property on-site property manager is sort of at the discretion of the official property management company.
Well,
so
who is the management company?
Inco Property Management.
Inco?
Yep.
INCO?
Correct.
Have you called them?
I have not called them this time. I have called them and emailed them every year prior to this.
Wait, this happens every year you have to call?
Yes, sir.
And what happens every year when you call? Do they turn it on or do they wait?
They wait.
I hate to tell you this, but I don't know of anything that can compel them to turn it on sooner unless you make it a constructive eviction, which you're not willing to do. I mean, I'm not saying you have to leave, but you have to be willing to, or you get a number of tenants together. But it's to see what I'm saying, Jesse, is there's really no specific law. It's habitability. And I don't know how cold it really does get. What's the coldest it's been without heat? Do you know, inside?
I'm not sure the coldest. I know this morning my thermostat was reading 52 degrees.
Oh my goodness gracious, that would be terrible. With kids?
It was pretty cold. Yep. Yeah, they were...
Listen, I don't mind calling for you and just saying, look, Deputy Dan, you're pretty good at this kind of thing, calling. We should call the management company and say that this is unbelievable. If it got down to 52 degrees, they can't wait till mid-October. And maybe just by us getting involved, it might help a bit. But remember this, Jesse, we can't make them do it. There are no laws that address this except habitability standards, which even that does not really address like something like this because it's subjective. There is no temperature it must be. It's weird.
Right. And I'm hoping that a phone call will help because my immediate concern is to get them to turn the heat on. And I actually am sending out by certified mail the warranty of
habitability. Good.
Habitability. I'm sending those documents to them today.
Excellent.
So
I just left them a message, Tom.
Oh, you did?
I did. That's pretty cold. 52.
No, that's weird. I'd like Dan to call him later this afternoon, too, and then if they get 2 messages, if Dan can't get through, that'll be something. So mark her down as a follow-up and see what we can do for her. Ron, what's going on in your life, Ron? Welcome.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, what's happening?
Heard you say on the radio that
oh, yeah.
You would compete with,
what we would say is anything you want to buy, $500 or more, and it's late in the show, so we may have to do it tomorrow, we will live find it cheaper. That's our challenge. Or we'll buy you lunch.
Okay. Here's the deal.
Okay. Now, this has to be a real price that you've already gotten, a real one.
Oh, that I've gotten. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, but tell me what you're looking for. What are you looking for?
Okay, here's what I'm looking for. Either cabinet resurfacing or replacing.
Okay.
And they'll need to come give me an estimate it's for my mother. She's disabled, 83 years old. I'm also disabled, so we need somebody very, very honest to take care of us.
And she needs cabinets. How big is her kitchen?
Gosh, it's maybe 12 by 15, maybe.
Okay, here's something you're going to need to do, okay? To take advantage of this deal, you truly need to get a price, a legitimate price from a contractor. Bottom line, get a whole price from a contractor, and it can't. And the only thing I say is we will get it cheaper, but the contracted price has to be a real contract. But I'm not sure this is for you. I'm thinking for you, Ron. This is for somebody who can afford to buy it. That's why they get the price. I don't want you to waste people's time to give you a price just for us to beat them up or to find someone else, because it's not fair to somebody to come out and do this. I want people who truly were ready to get something, and they said, wait a minute, I'm going to take Tom up on this challenge. And then if I don't beat them, they're going to go back to the original bid. I don't want to just have people coming over bidding just for fun. So I don't think it's good or nice. So what I would do, however, what I would do, Ron, is I can help you find someone. We can help you, okay. But I can't promise you it'll be, like in your price range, because I don't know what your price range is. So hold on a second. I'll try to help you. Now, JR, quickly, JR, you have a comment on HomeWise. Do you know HomeWise?
No, I don't know HomeWise, but I think you missed something in the conversation.
And what was that, sir?
He said that HomeWise sent him a guy that was actually a concrete worker.
Yes.
And that guy sent one of his buddies to do the work for him.
I did miss that, JR.
So it's not connected to HomeWise.
That is, I did not hear that. Thank you. And you have what about the Richmond call?
And the Richmond Homes, the formaldehyde and floor joist.
Right.
If I recall the story, they said that Weyerhaeuser did have a fix for that. They were going to paint sealant on the floor joist to keep the formaldehyde from leaching.
Would that be a permanent solution?
That's the question I have. Would that be a permanent solution? Because a lot of people are saying that's not good enough. They want the floor joist replaced.
Well, it doesn't sound like a good fix for me. I mean, it doesn't. Because you're obviously it's not going to last forever. I mean, that stuff will leach out. I don't want that stuff in my house. So I don't think it is. 303-713-8255. Let's talk about pure water, because you do have choices. Pure water choices. And that's the name of Al's company, a master plumber, who wanted to give people the truth. He doesn't mind talking prices because he knows that so many people shuck and jive in this industry. Like a good point of use, a filtration system that handles both carbon and, not carbon, that has both carbon and media to handle gases and sediment is about $500 to $600. Okay? And that's it. That's a great system. And a whole house system, I don't care what you hear, but a whole house system with the whole Mac Daddy, everything you can buy, is around $3,800. But that's for softening, conditioning, filtration, everything you'd ever want. And it's got the combo filters of both carbon and media. You need both. One only gets out gases, the other just gets out sediment. So if you want the truth about your water, and if you need it, or you want to know more about his other systems or systems in between, give him a call. And he'll give you free evaluations and water consultation. It's purewaterchoices.com. Talk to Al if you want to call 720-219-7818. 720-219-7818.
This report is brought to you by NBC's This Is Us.
Looking good on the highway drive in the metro area right now.
I'm going to try to help you find someone. I was going to have to leave that tomorrow. He needs cabinets. His mom's disabled in her house. I told him I can't promise we're going to be in his price range. Yes, but it's not for our price now. I just want a direct referral. Here's the thing. I told him, I said, no, he's not ready to buy. He just can't afford it. He's saying, give me a cheaper. I said, no, this is for people who are ready to buy, because I don't want to dick around with somebody if somebody's not ready to buy. If they just want a bid. Well, I'm not doing it.
Hey, Hal. Tonight on 45 Every Winner's a Voice.
So once we get someone who really wants to buy, we can negotiate a deal. We can do it almost every time.
The most anticipated. It seems two-time Emmy winner this is.
If you've been injured in an automobile accident or in any other way where someone else is responsible, you have a right to seek damages, and insurance companies are usually ones that pay those damages. John Fuller at Fuller Law is an expert at going after insurance companies. They are scum to deal with. I'm just going to tell you that straight up. I have no love for insurance companies, and that's why I love John Fuller, because he fights them. But he also knows how to collect from other entities that might be responsible. That is one of his best talents, is finding connections to people with deep pockets. And you may say, well, that's terrible. You know something? It's not. Not if you're truly, truly injured due to the negligence of someone else, and other people are involved. That's why you hire a good attorney like John Fuller at Fuller Law. And by the way, people, if you think, oh, I just don't want to do that, they said they would take care of it, that is the biggest ripoff of the century. If they say, don't worry about it, we'll handle it, you will almost never, ever get a decent settlement without an attorney. And without John Fuller, I'm telling you, you will not get the best. In my opinion, he has the most dedication, and he has a personal feeling for people who have been victimized. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. Here's his website, personalinjuryco.com.
Take AIM, affordable interest mortgage.
Let us show you how to own your home faster.
So do you have this David Garcia on the line here?
I just talked to him. Tell him that this is coming back to him. You getting the information. We're going to try to find a referral for him on the list for his kitchen.
I give him Sonia or buy and bill.
Buy and bill doesn't do it.
Yeah, buy and bill doesn't do it. Well, who's Sonia?
That's him.
Yeah, so Sasha do the work. Sasha.
Because he wants refacing. He just wants refacing.
No, he wanted or cabinets. Okay. Tell him we can't guarantee prices are going to be the lowest or in his price range. He just wanted someone who's honest, that won't cheat him, that will give him a great price. Sasha. So ask Sasha. But what I wanted to do is warm Sasha up for this guy.
Time is running out. 720.
Is that okay, Sasha?
What am I supposed to ask Sasha?
You don't have to ask Sasha. Give Ron Sasha's information. Tell Ron he can trust the guy, but Ron needs to tell him that we personally recommended him because, and because he needs help.
It modernized their data center using the industry's most innovative infrastructure portfolio. Servers and storage by Dell.
So you talked to this Dave Garcia?
Yeah.
Good guy.
CDWG.com/Dell.
No, I don't think so.
People who get
He tried to, I think all he was trying to do was BS me, but I got some particular questions for Vernon. I want to see what his response is before I jump to conclusions, but my bullshit detector was going off.
On what, man? On Vernon?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if I like on the contract.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Let's go back to Vernon. Vernon is blind. He said he's taken advantage of. I just mentioned that because he did. He said he gave $23,500 to a contractor who just started having problems and then stopped coming. And I'm telling you, he got him from this place. Actually, HomeWise was at his door and recommended a concrete contractor, and that concrete contractor called his friend. So it wasn't a direct referral from HomeWise, but the guy's name is David Garcia. And no matter how you look at it, you can't take $23,500 from a blind man and not do the work. I mean, you can't take it from anybody. I'm getting so tired of this.
Well, here's the deal. I talked to David. Vernon, a couple things, man. One, he's saying you didn't give him $23,000. Are you sure? Do you have receipts, canceled checks? Is there a way to prove that?
What did he say?
Just yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Did you say
he's saying around $15,000. He's also saying he's done easily that amount of work so far.
Framing.
Is that all that was? He said basically the framing's done, the plumbing's done, the electrical's done. He's saying pretty much everything's done but drywall, if I'm reading him right. And he said that you're supposed to get the fixtures.
he was given a Home Depot card of $3,000
Lord.
above the cash.
Okay, that's all you got to tell me. Now, the last thing, he said you're desperate right now, and the reason he's doing this so cheap is because you got ripped off by someone else. Does that make any sense? And it's okay if it does. I'm trying to figure out how much crap this guy's giving me.
No, I haven't been ripped off. We sold our house in Longmont in October.
And then, and then, hold on.
Okay, Vernon, that's okay.
One last question. Did you just lose a job in Boulder?
Well, it wasn't. It was a welfare program. It's where the blind people can run a government building.
Listen, that's all good. This guy already... Hold on.
My BS detector went off with this freaking David Garcia left and right.
But $15,000, if he's lying about that, I mean, Vernon...
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to head over there after the show.
Well, wait, where are you, Vernon?
He's Denver.
No, I'm in Firestone.
Yeah, he's in Firestone.
Oh, Lord. How come
I know.
My God, man, move that house closer.
No, here's the deal. We can't go today, but we're still going to help you. Listen, Vernon, this is wrong. Did you truly give him $23,000?
The total was $23,500.
Does that include the Home Depot stuff?
No.
That includes the Home Depot card. There was about 8.
How many payments did you make to him?
4.
So you made 4 payments. You didn't make one for $23,500. You did 4. So during that, was he working during that time?
He worked. He was framing up the bedroom and the closet and the bathroom during that time, and then he...
Okay. You don't have to give me... Okay, that's fine.
He also said he talked to him Friday.
Now listen.
Did you talk to him Friday?
He got a text message to get a hold of me.
Did you pay any by credit card?
No.
God.
It was cash.
I just got to see what work's been done. Can you take some photos of the basement and send it?
Just do us a favor. We're going to follow this up. Well, Suzanne will get all your information, but we need some basic stuff.
I got to tell you, though, after the conversation with this Garcia, I'm telling you, man, my radar detector was everywhere. The guy
said, I only got 15 and I'm done. I did all that work.
He started getting into weird stuff. You know how that goes.
Oh, like anything.
Well, like, hey, the guy just lost his job there and he wants a $5,000 bathtub.
I'm so tired of these contractors lying. People, please spread the word about referralist.com. We honest to God care, and we follow them. And then Wink and Wink, by the way, thank you for being here. We're not done yet, but I just wanted to say that. 303-410-1720. And winkandwink.com, I guess we are done. I wanted to take another call. We'll try to get you tomorrow. By the way, David Garcia's not... Never mind. Okay, we're out of time, and I just want to tell you to save all your problems for me, and don't forget referralist.com. I am so... This drain person, you know what? I do have to mention this drain guy. He's a thief, and she keeps putting it in front of me. I got to do this Sweeney guy. I got to do it. This guy took $12,500 and never came back. Why don't...